Happy Sunday, everybody. This is, I had mentioned last night I was thinking about renaming, rebranding, whatever you want to call it. So I was working on, oh boy, it was probably a good 5 hours, 4, probably total. More closer to 4. Working on a whole bunch of new stuff. So starting next Sunday, this channel will be known as the Evil CJ Show. Stupid YouTube won't let me change it for 7 more days. Everything else is updated though. But once YouTube allows me to change my name, this will be the new name of the channel. Happy Sunday, everybody. And I'm thinking about doing my Sunday shows at 6:30. I would like to do 6:30 on the weekdays. I just don't know if it's going to be possible. But we'll be off tomorrow. I'm going to be working a ton more on the channel. Thank you, Co. I had a good day. I hope you did too. I was just busy working on the channel. As soon as I got done with the sports show, I was actually going to get on and play some games for a little bit. But then I started working on rebranding stuff and new screens. And I'm excited to show you guys the new screen I got for tonight, though. What's up, SRB? Pam? Kib Kitty? Hatch 2 butterflies. Yes. Do you have pictures? Let me know if you send any. Port in Houston, huh? Oh, look at that. The camera emoji. I love it. You have tried to send pics earlier? Oh, shoot. What happened? Man, I got a runny nose and I can't find any Kleenex. Shit. What's up, Dre? Oh, it's all good. There's a lot. We even talked about Brett Favre, the scandal that he's involved in right now. Thank you for the update. Who won the game earlier? Get your butt up on that screen. I did send pictures. Look at email. Okay. I have not. I did not get any emails yet. The Eagles won. Really? Wow, that was a dominant game. I wish I would have turned it on. I didn't even think about it. I was so focused on, getting everything updated. I had so much to do, logos and backgrounds and just you name it. Intro screen. Sorry if you guys hopped on my Twitch earlier. I was just making some new intro videos. I still got more work to do on them, but we'll be, once next Sunday comes around, everything will be the Evil CJ Show. I kind of asked around. Everybody thought it was a good idea, and I was like, I was thinking about naming it like that in the beginning, but I think I'm just gonna keep it sweet and simple. Yes, let me check my email again because I didn't see any pictures yet. But that is, and here's the new background. Kabam! Get the Evil CJ show up on top instead of the Evil CJ Concept podcast. And then we got the crime scene tape. Ooh. So that's going to be the new background. And there it is right there. So yeah, I'm excited. Got the intro. I'll be doing the intros probably next week. The new intros and stuff. Once YouTube allows me to do the complete switch. Everything else is updated. Except for that. I even have... Ooh, let me turn this music down. I even have, in the top right of the screen, I even have, like, the Evil CJ Show open panel. Subscribe. But we're still a concept as well. So I'm going to leave it up there. Evil CJ Concept open panel. Yeah, we have an open panel tonight. And honestly, I've been having so much fun with everybody when they do hop on. Seriously. I would love to have any of you on any night if you'd like to hop up and sit back, chill back. We can discuss these cases together along with chat. That face in the middle. Yeah, you guys like that crime scene tape? I was like, I need some crime scene tape for this background. I got the crowd for the sports. I needed some crime scene tape for this, so I just went ahead and threw that on there along with the normal background that we have. I might change different backgrounds and stuff, but I don't know. That's just what I'm doing for now. Finally get so yeah. I don't know what you meant, Kelt, because it sounded to me in Justice, the audio was right on the money. Well, I was thinking about this because before all that crazy stuff happened, the phone line was getting blown up. I had so much that I had to quit out of it. And the issues that I was having with the live call when it come to the other panel members not being able to be heard to the caller, which I would like if I have panel members up. I mean, I still have the phone line open. I still have the phone up. So if somebody does call, I can hear it. But I'm kind of thinking maybe just having the phone line open the whole time, but focusing on the panel. And then if there is like an important call, somebody in chat's like, hey, can you give me a call back? Yeah, I'll give you a call back. We can do it like that. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to specifically reserve like having live call in the title or be a main part of the show unless it's sports. Always got to have a live call in on a sports show. But also maybe when we're doing specials or something like that. But once I figure out a way that the panel members can also be heard to the caller, because the caller can only hear me. Once I can figure that out, or if there's like a totally totally important live call in that we got to take, I'm going to go ahead and switch to it. So I will always have my phone line open. You can leave a voicemail. You can type a message in chat that you called. And then if you would like a call back, I'll give you a call back. But I'm always going to try and ask everybody to try and hop on the panel. Oh, it's okay, Pam. I appreciate you just hanging out. Yeah, it's like with me, my story, I even was nervous to do it. But then I need to add something here. 1 second. that thing to stretch the whole way. It's not. Let me see something here. Try and get this thing to fit the whole way. Oh, now that's too much, huh? Okay. I guess I'll just do that. I was trying to get it to stretch the whole thing, but I guess it won't. Hey, what's up, Willow? I hope you're doing good. I'm about to enjoy my coffee. I made some. Yeah, it's so like at first, it's you're nervous, but after you get the initial, and after you're in there for a minute, all of a sudden you're like, damn, it's like I'm just chilling here talking to some friends on the phone. It's very comfortable after you get past the initial. I mean, trust me, I got invited to be on open panels on other people's shows that had thousands and thousands of people that were subbed to them. I was just like, yeah, yeah. But I did my own show and I'm like, whoop, here we go. We're diving into the deep end and I don't even know how to swim. Oh, we will. I like to just chill back here. Chill for a little bit. I mean, the last few nights, we've really got caught up on my folders. So I do have some new stuff added. But really, we went through a decent amount too. So we might end up going through it all tonight. But yeah, if anybody would like to hop on, you're more than welcome. Just ask for a link. Oh, my glasses are on almost all the time now, except for when I'm just chilling back. Like if I'm at work or if I'm on my show, I gotta be wearing them anymore. I appreciate you, SRB. You're one of the reasons why the group is the way it is, and I appreciate you. And man, you had some interesting stories last night too. And did that music not fucking creep everybody? It creeped me out. I'm sitting there listening to the stories. I'm getting tingles up my spine, up my neck. I'm like, oh crap. And then the music would just hit at the right time. I need to rewatch last night's show. I bet it would be fun as hell. You guys were awesome. Hey Ava, how you doing tonight? Yeah, these open panel nights. Wednesday night, last night, it was great. Yeah, that fucking music was like spot on. And then Justice, in the beginning of her story, and then as she's right at the beginning, as she's telling, yeah, here she is, as she's telling the beginning of it, she's like, oh my god. That was so awesome. Oh, that was so awesome. It was great. Aw, I'm sorry to hear that. My Cowboys got I don't even Ava, I know you watched that game. I just gotta say, isn't that last play that the Cowboys had with 5-6 seconds left, wasn't that some bullshit? I mean, I'm sure it was good for you, right, being a Niners fan, but as a general football fan, you're gonna tell me that that's the best that they came up with when they lined up that crazy ass formation, and I'm thinking, oh gosh, there's gonna be some really tricky play, and then they come up with a 6-yard? Oh, you didn't watch it? 6-yard pass up the middle that wasn't even a first down. It's like that's what. Oh, it was horrible. Oh my gosh, Willow, I'm excited because I heard that the American Football League is going to be starting soon. So I'll definitely be having that in my sports show, American Football League, all that stuff, arena, all that. Right now, we talked some football, we talked some basketball in my sports show today. Uh, but one of the things we talked about in the sports show and watched was about the Brett Favre scandal that isn't really getting talked about. The whole Brett Favre welfare scandal, crazy. Hop on up, anybody. We're gonna go ahead and chill back and see what we got for some videos tonight. I hope everybody's doing good. Relaxing Sunday. Oh, Australian. Oh, yeah, there's a. Speaking of, I set up I'm getting ready to set up a Yahoo Fantasy NCAA March Madness bracket. So if you'd like to participate, I am going to be figuring out some kind of prize for the winner. So even if you're not into sports, if you'd like to participate and put in a bracket for the Evil CJ show, I'm thinking about getting, for the prize for whoever wins, I'm thinking about getting like a small trophy with your YouTube name engraved on it as a prize for whoever wins the Evil CJ show March Madness bracket. I can't take you out to dinner, but I can send you a gift card. You'll call after your workout? Yes, welfare scandal, Ava. Yeah, just look up Brett Favre welfare scandal. It's not really getting talked about. It's something that took place a while ago, and I'm like, you know what? I'm talking about it today. I knew about it. Nobody's really talking about it. It's ridiculous what happened. If you go back and watch this sports show, and you go to where the Brett Favre section is, you'd be amazed. You'd be amazed. The amount of money. You'd be amazed how it happened. You'd be amazed what Brett Favre was a part of, and it's proven through texts, emails. Oh yeah. But nobody's talking about it. You're talking millions. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Damn it, Kevin thinks I told you I'll send you a gift card, Bob Evans. Whatever you want. What's up, Mama Bear? I can send you a gift card. I'm all the way over here, you know. So yes, again, starting next week, we will be known as the Evil CJ show. Start next week. I did have some of it changed around. Some of it I'm still keeping concept. It's because YouTube. I have to wait until next Sunday. It's making me wait. Keep playing coy. You know how I do. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, you know. Yes, if anybody would like to hop up, you're more than welcome. If you're unable to get the link when you are ready, or you would like to hop up, just request and chat, and I'll go ahead and put in another one. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I think there was a weather update somewhere around here. Yes, right here. We got a Ryan Hall, y'all. Weather update, and we love our Ryan Hall, y'all, and we know we need to know what's going on. He's got to take overtime to. Ava, you were here? Were you here that night? Oh hell no! It's starting already. Tongue tied. Yeah. Oh, Ava, you're so awesome. We love Ryan Hall, y'all. So let's hear what he has to say. Yes, last night it was a little outdated until the very end, but today this was just from 5 hours ago. The battle zone, and I'm in it. What do I gotta worry about now?
South, creating a weather battle zone that will cause problems for millions of us over the next week or so. You're going to feel these impacts as soon as Sunday night in the Midwest as temperatures plummet to 30 to 40 degrees below normal. In fact, the wind chill is going to be below zero in northern Texas tonight, and look at Minnesota. Some places will feel like 40 degrees below zero. It's actually going to get so cold that we're going to start to see the Great Lakes really start to freeze over, especially Lake Superior, which is currently covered in much less ice than usual due to the recent warm temperatures. And this cold air is going to spread across much of the western, central, and northern parts of the U.S. as we go into the middle of the week. But all of this information that I'm telling you right now isn't even the most interesting part of what's getting ready to happen. As the cold air from Canada tries its best to squeeze into the deep south, our ridge of high pressure in the southeast will sling warmer air up into the states. This is going to result in several storms forming and riding across this boundary between the two air masses over the next week or so. Now, you might be thinking you've heard this song and dance so many times, and you're right. But this time will be different. Whoever ends up on the northern side of these storms will be cold and snowy, and whoever ends up on the southern side will see heavy rain and thunderstorms. But whoever ends up right underneath where these two heavyweight champion air masses decide to fight is going to have to deal with something much, much worse. Ice. You see, the warm air from the Gulf is going to be crashing into the cold wave from Canada. And as we know, warm air rises, so a sort of air escalator is going to form. And once the warm air reaches the floor of the atmosphere that's cold enough, the air will condense and then fall as snow. But there's a catch. The snow that forms has to fall back through the wedge of warm air, and this will cause it to melt back into rain as it continues to fall. But there's still below freezing temperatures at the surface underneath the warm air escalator, so that should freeze it back to snow, right? Well, it's actually a whole lot more complicated than that. Just look at this clown. It's cold at his house, so he's going to go outside and set up his Yalameter in anticipation of snow. But little does he know he's right underneath the weather battle zone, and a warm wedge of air is infiltrating the cold just above his head. But he has no daggone clue. He's chilling. He's just waiting on the snow. It's been cold at his house all day, and that warm air is starting to condense above him, bringing forth what look like snow clouds. And that's exactly what they are. Way up here, it's cold enough to snow, and that's how the precipitation is going to start exiting the clouds. But as the snow falls through the thicker parts of the warm wedge, it melts and turns into rain. Now, if you go just a little bit north of Mr. Clown's house, there's enough cold air between the melting zone and the ground for the precipitation to turn back into frozen sleet. And even farther north than that, it's all snow. But Mr. Clown's house is at the base of the warm air escalator, so there's not enough time for the raindrops to turn back into frozen precipitation before they hit the ground. So even though it's below freezing down here where Mr. Clown is, it's raining. And now that rain is freezing on impact, and it's creating a layer of ice over everything.
Damn,
this is
that's
obviously
not
a
good.
very dangerous situation.
That's not
Hey,
good.
Mr. Clown should have been subscribed to this channel. I've got no sympathy for him. You see, this very same phenomenon is actually going to happen for many of you along this boundary for the entirety of this week,
no,
causing
that's
major
me.
problems. But
Oh,
there's more than
no.
one storm that's going to ride this boundary. We're
I'm
going to have
in it.
several different shots of ice and snow and rain as we go forward. This first one's going to cause some rain and thunderstorms Sunday night into Monday across the deep south. But up here along this boundary battle
Oh,
zone, we're going to
crap.
see sleet and freezing drizzle and freezing rain. Watch that persist and expand across the Ohio
Man.
Valley as we go into
Monday
Tuesday. And
is
around the same
tomorrow?
time, another storm's going to be forming down here in Texas, bringing
on.
frozen precipitation. No sympathy for him. You see, this very same phenomenon
I got to see when on Monday this is happening, because this is going to affect me. Yes, go Cassie. I did get the email, Pam. I will get to it right after this. Mr. Clown on this segment. 70 degrees. I don't remember them ever. Oh gosh, Ava. Yeah, I'm in a hot spot for ice. That's damn straight. I need to figure out when exactly this is taking place. This is scary shit.
Phenomenon is actually going to happen for many of you along this boundary for the entirety of this week, causing major problems. But there's more than one storm that's going to ride this boundary. We're going to have several different shots of ice and snow and rain as we go forward. This first one's going to cause some rain and thunderstorms.
Several. Sunday. Today?
Storm Sunday night into Monday across the deep south. But up here along this boundary battle
Sunday
zone, we're going to see sleet
Monday
and freezing drizzle and
that's when it hits. Where's the time? It just says Monday.
Freezing rain. Watch that persist and expand across the Ohio Valley as we go into Tuesday. And around this same time, another storm's going to be forming down here in Texas, bringing frozen precipitation as far south as Austin. This is likely going to expand even more and turn into a significant ice situation as it moves off to the north and east. Another short-range weather model known as the HRRR is also showing this. But just look at how
Monday for
much more intense the precipitation
while I'm at work
is down here in the south. Those deep pink areas indicate,
well, that's cool. They should have the roads hit up pretty good by then.
Heavy rain that's going to be freezing on impact. This is how we end up seeing a lot of our worst ice storms most of the time. Currently, the most
so Tuesday morning when I go to work is when I need to worry.
Concerning looking model simulation is the Canadian. It shows a prolonged ice storm from Texas to Tennessee with catastrophic ice accumulations. However, models like the GFS are painting a completely different picture with a shorter event, a smaller impact area, and less overall ice. There's one thing I know for sure though, and that's going to be that any snow that does fall on the northern side of these storms.
Hey, Justice, when I hit 1,000 subs and I'm monetized, I'll definitely share that with people that hop up on Open Panel. That's for sure.
It's going to be very light. We're talking about a skiff of snow in the plains and maybe some grass coverings in Ohio. There's a better chance in the Northeast, but still nothing to write home about. A lot of the energy from this weather battle zone will come in the form of rain in the South. Widespread 2 to 4 inch totals will lead to intermittent flooding problems through the weekend, so make sure you're prepared for that. But what we've really got to be prepared for is the potential ice. In my opinion, it's too early to talk about exact totals, so let's look at an average of all the weather models. Let's put them all together and come up with a realistic forecast for what we could see. And here it is, a blend of all the forecast models, and it's showing that everybody in the light pink could see up to 1/10 of an inch of ice through Friday. The darker areas could see up to 1/4 inch of ice. Okay, so future Ryan here again. I used the national blend of forecast models here to kind of show you a conservative forecast with no big scary amounts of ice or anything like that, but we just got new data in, and it's showing an even bigger hot spot in Texas. And now also we're starting to see some short range data like the HRRR come in that's showing honestly an ice storm for parts of Texas, Arkansas, and Tennessee. So I still don't want to talk about exact totals just yet. I just want to throw this in here that even just in the short term of me editing this video, the seriousness of this situation is ramping up. So we're going to have a lot more updates coming soon. Let's get back into the regular video. But scarier maps like what's coming out of the Canadian model are likely overdone. So it's important that we take them with a grain of salt. I'd also like to point out that because a lot of this precipitation is going to fall in waves, there will be some time for ice accumulation to melt in between each event. However, as little as 1/4 inch of ice can cause major problems in the form of treacherous travel and power outages. In fact, just 1/2 inch of ice can be considered a significant and damaging ice storm. And just given the information we have so far, I think it's very possible that a lot of us see more ice than that by the time this is all said and done. So if you live near some of these expected hot zones for ice this week, I would go ahead and gas up the generator and get prepared just in case. There's a whole daggone lot of uncertainty here. Ice storms are the hardest storms to predict. Weather people get them wrong more than any other kind of storm, in my opinion. But the signal is there, and you're getting a very early heads up if a worst case scenario does happen. The weather is very complex and frustrating sometimes, but I love it. And if you're still watching this video at this point, I've got a feeling that you love it too. Whether it's the excitement of tracking a storm on the models or simply just enjoying nice, comfortable days outdoors, we all love the weather to some extent. And speaking of love, we're coming up on Valentine's Day. So I've come up with a way for all of us to express our true loves this season weather. We just released these limited edition high quality t-shirts made by weather lovers for weather lovers, and you can only get them on my website from now through the end of February. And if you get one right now when this video goes up, you'll for sure get it before Valentine's Day. So once you get yours in, post a selfie with it on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook and use this hashtag #ILoveWX. That stands for I Love Weather. I think it'll be cool to show the world just how many crazy people there actually are that love weather. So also on Valentine's Day, I'm going to put all of your names that use the hashtag and posted a selfie in a big bowl, and I'm going to randomly pick one of you to win $1,000, no strings attached. I think that this is going to be really cool. If you want one, go get one. I really appreciate everybody that watches these videos. And of course, I appreciate my members. You guys are a big driving force for the channel. That's the weather forecast. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
I always love the ending of that. Wow, $1,000. That's cool. Definitely subscribe to Ryan Hall, y'all. If you're not. Best weatherman on YouTube and on TV. That sucks for me. That's why I like watching his videos. Because these local weathermen have no freaking clue. And he does. And yes, Bob Evans has the best sausage ever. I love the sausage, biscuits, and gravy. Oh my gosh. Their breakfast, the hash browns. I mean, everything. We don't have Babu Cracker Barrel's good too. That's right, Justice. Oh my gosh, I went to Hardee's this morning. I got the loaded omelet biscuit and I got a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. Oh my gosh, that's crazy you say that. I got that this morning. I got the loaded omelet meal with the orange juice and then a biscuit, and it was fucking crazy. It cost me $14 damn. I was like, what the fuck? 2 biscuits, hash browns, and an orange juice? Oh, geez. 3 degrees? Oh, my gosh. Oh, yes, the old Hardee's. Oh, pancakes. Yeah, that's crazy you guys mentioned Hardee's. I had that this morning. I was going to go to Mickey D's and get me the sausage McMuffin. Get me a couple of them, but I was like, on my way home, I was like, you know what? I want to get me some Hardee's this morning. Yeah, 3 degrees. Oh my gosh. That's horrible. All right, I got my coffee. I just opened up the lid. Yeah, and that comment earlier, Justice, seriously, whenever I do get to 1,000 subs and beyond, and, you know, I am monetized, I do plan on giving people cuts for, you know, when it comes to open panel and it comes to, you know, bringing something to the show. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely about sharing when the channel gets to that point, for damn sure. Especially if there's a lot of open panel that, you know, brings a lot to the show. I'm definitely about sharing whatever comes from it. Pancakes, yum. Well, you know what I mean. I mean, you think people go on like Howard Stern for free? Share food. I don't have strippers. I don't even entertain those. Any of that stuff that I would need entertainment from a stripper for, I can get that from a non-stripper. So why? I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Why go to some place and spend money about wishes when you can just oh. no, no, we ain't. Yeah, I'm y'all know what I meant. Right, you know what I'm saying? Why? It's I don't know. I never I don't know. Maybe just because I've had different experiences or something. I don't know. I just never had to go that route. So, anyway. All right, let's get back to the show. Just saying, the money could be spent on more useful things. And you could still have that. Let's see. Bed crime stories. Did Koberger confuse visual snow? I definitely want to hear about this. Visual snow. Bed crime stories. We love her channel. Time to eat. I'll be back. Slip of the tongue. Oh, you're good. All right, let's see what Bed Crime Stories has to say. So you get little bits and pieces every here and there, you know? You can't say I don't say nothing. I'm hoping one thing there's two things I want. Kib Kitty's donating a easel, so I'll be able to have that in the corner where the guitar is, and we'll be starting to do the paintings soon, so that'll be cool. I don't have to have some kind of weird ass thing in my computer in harm's way if I bump something on accident, which sometimes I can bump shit. So that's why I'm like, yeah, no. We'll wait until we get that thing, but that'll be coming soon. There's two things that I really would like to try and get. Number one, I would like to try and get a fucking mic arm so I can get rid of this thing, so I can have this like not be in my face all the time in front of the camera. So because of everything I have to have set up the way it is on my desk, if I can get this is like a custom built thing that I made when I got my microphone, but it's just when the camera has to be here. It'd be nice to get like a mic arm that I can like have from back over to my left or something that I can have hang down right here or something. Unfortunately, I can't have this microphone be over here because that's where I have to have my computer, and there's no room for me to be able to clamp my stand over here while I have the computer over here. So I'm working on trying to get a microphone arm or whatever you call them, so I can just have this thing hang in front of me instead of in front of here. It'd be in front of here, not here. So that's one thing. Another thing I need to try and find. So if anybody is like really good at searching Amazon, if you can search on Amazon, or even if anybody knows anybody that might have a good suggestion on this, I would really like to have a soundboard, so that way it has like I could make it sound like like if you're watching like Jimmy Fallon or something. Not saying you watch him, but I'm just saying like David Letterman or something. But where you don't have like a real audience, but it's like a fake studio audience where you got your oohs and your ahs and your light claps and your light laughs and your loud applause and all those different things. I don't even know. I know they make them, but I couldn't. When it comes to my Amazon searching, I'm horrible at it. So if you guys are good at Amazon searching, I do have Prime, and I can I would get it off Prime. I don't know what would a price. I don't even know how much them things would cost. Or is there something? See, it's just but it would have to. I mean, there's like websites I can go to that have that, but I would have to like have the tab open. I couldn't be sharing nothing, so it really wouldn't work the way I would like to. It'd have to almost be like plugged in by a USB to where it would be like sitting in front of me and I just tap a button. Because I think that'd be really cool. But uh, I'm trying to find a mic arm to get rid of the microphone out of this and have it in front of me here. But I can't do that with this what I have, so I have to definitely get the mic arm. Then I don't know how much would one of them things be, like $100 maybe. What videos, Justice? Probably an app. That's the thing though. It has to like. That's why I'm thinking that if it's a USB, then it's almost like a microphone source or something. I don't even know how it works. I guess I should just research it more. But I don't know. I don't even know who to reach out to talk to about that. I just thought maybe if any of you guys know, if you have any suggestions or anything, just email them to me. Oh yeah, speaking of email, I need to go that real quick. These are the 2 butterflies that hatched from Pam. Wow. Look at those shells. Those are cool. Look at those shells. Thank you, Pam. My bad. I totally forgot. All right, we're going to get back to bed crime stories. Yes, very. Oh, I don't know. I did not know. What is it? Chrysalis? Chrysalises? Yes, I did play basketball. Ever since little tyke. Fresh hatched. How do you pronounce that? Chrysalises? Chrysalis? Chrysalis? Something like that. Alright, let's go to this bed crime story. See what she says. I always feel like I'm gonna go back to the beginning because I always feel like I'm starting to watch an episode of Beavis and Butthead.
Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T. To all my bed crimers, I hope you guys are having a lovely weekend. To anyone new here, a warm welcome. Thank you for checking out my channel. Let me just ask that after listening to this video or watching it, if you find you enjoyed it or learned something, do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment. Now, let's dig in. First, let me say that suspect Brian Koberger is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. However, the police believe he's the person who harmed Kaylee Gonsalves, Maddie Mogan, Zana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. It is upon that backdrop that I speak just for the record. I wanted to go back to the many posts that Koberger is believed to have made on a message board for sufferers of visual snow syndrome. In case you aren't familiar with this, let me briefly explain. Visual snow syndrome is an uncommon neurological condition in which people see persistent flickering white, black, transparent, or colored dots across their whole visual field. A person going under the moniker EXARR.ThoseWithVisualSnow posted many lengthy comments about the debilitating symptoms he was experiencing and that he attributed to having this syndrome. That person appears to have been Brian Koberger. For the sake of this discussion, let's assume that it was Koberger. The particular post I'm going to talk about was made on July 4th of 2011, when Koberger would have been age 16. It struck me that Brian Koberger wrote this long post on July 4th. The 4th of July is a day in the United States when most Americans are celebrating, spending time with family and friends, feeling carefree, eating cupcakes with red, white, and blue frosting, lighting sparklers and firecrackers, and watching fireworks displays. It sounds like Brian Koberger was hooked up to a computer, typing this disturbing in a very bad way, instead of enjoying the holiday with friends and family that year. Major theme of this particular post is
I'll
something
show the
called
pic after this, Kid Kitty.
depersonalization. The first sentence of the post says, and I quote, "I have had this horrible depersonalization go on in my life for almost 2 years. Not really understanding depersonalization, I looked the term up on the Mayo Clinic website. Here's what it said. Depersonalization/derealization disorder occurs when you persistently or repeatedly have the feeling that you're observing yourself from outside your body, or you have a sense that things around you aren't real, or both. Feelings of depersonalization and derealization can be very disturbing and may feel like you're living in a dream. Many people have a passing experience of depersonalization or derealization at some point. But when these feelings keep occurring or never completely go away and interfere with your ability to function, it's considered depersonalization/derealization disorder. This disorder is more common in people who've had traumatic experiences." End quote. The only major trauma we've heard about Brian Koberger suffering are the extreme bullying and rejection that he, by all accounts, faced in both middle and high school. That's when he was about 100 pounds overweight, and at least one girl he liked, a blonde cheerleader, not only rejected him, but allegedly did it in the most humiliating way, telling him he was a creep and telling him to go away. Mayo Clinic's definition of depersonalization goes on to say that symptoms usually begin in the mid to late teens or early adulthood, and that would fit with Koberger's timeline. In this July 4th, 2011 post, he was about 16, and he stated that he'd had this horrible depersonalization for almost 2 years. That would have made him 14 when it started. Mayo Clinic lists the symptoms of depersonalization and those of derealization separately. Here are the symptoms that go with depersonalization. 1. Feeling that you're an outside observer of your thoughts, feelings, your body, or parts of your body. For example, as if you were floating in the air above yourself. 2. Feeling like a robot, or that you're not in control of your speech or movements. 3. The sense that your body, legs, or arms appear distorted, enlarged, or shrunken, or that your head is wrapped in cotton. 4. Emotional or physical numbness of your senses or responses to the world
Bushy
around
eyebrows,
you.
remember?
5. A sense that your
Don't act
memories
serious.
lack emotion and that they may be or may not be your own memories. Here are the derealization symptoms. 1. Feelings of being alienated from or unfamiliar with your surroundings. For example, like you're living in a movie or a dream. 2. feeling emotionally disconnected from people you care about, as if you were separated by a glass wall. 3. Surroundings that appear distorted, blurry, colorless, two-dimensional, or artificial, or a heightened awareness and clarity of your surroundings. Let me jump in here and ask, do you think this third symptom could be what Koberger thought was visual snow syndrome? Could he have been suffering from depersonalization, derealization syndrome instead of visual snow?
What?
The fourth symptom
I'm
of
confused.
derealization are distortions in perception of time, such as recent events feeling like distant past. And finally, the fifth symptom, distortions of distance and the size and shape of objects. The fifth symptom also seems like it could explain the visual problems Koberger described suffering. Back to his July 4th post, and I'm going to share a few more sentences from that post that stand out to me. They're not going to be in a specific order. I'm going to jump to the sentences in the post that stuck out to me. Here we go. I feel like an organic sack of meat with no self-worth, as I'm starting to view everyone as this. I'm stuck in this void of nothing, feeling completely no emotion, feeling nothing. I feel dirty, like there is dirt inside my head, my mind. I'm always dizzy and confused. I feel no self-worth. I'm stuck in the depths of my mind, where I have to constantly battle my demons. Am I here or am I fake? I feel myself slipping away. I hear screams faintly. I might spiral out of control and lose myself in the void. Now I look in the mirror and I see this sickly, tired, useless, and stupid man in the mirror. He's a complete disgrace. He doesn't even deserve to live. I used to be healthy.
Okay. We went through these a really long time ago. I do have a video up, and it's in the title. So if you want to ever watch it, go ahead. Here's a link to this video. I don't know. This is kind of confusing to me, and there's still another almost 10 minutes to the video. So if you'd like to watch this one on your own, go ahead. If you understand all of these different, I don't know, if you understand all the different stuff, tell us about it. I'm going to go ahead and hop to a different folder. There is something that came out just a few minutes ago about that Oregon torture suspect and was previously charged for similar crimes. I think this person is still out on the loose too. No, just watch the movie Ghost, Kel.
We are the clock manhunt for a man accused of torturing and kidnapping women. Police are warning he is dangerous and he's using dating apps to find his next victims and to find allies to assist in his crimes. His latest victim is still in critical condition.
Can we refresh and it actually be clear?
We are following this shocking case out of Oregon, an urgent round-the-clock manhunt for a man accused of torturing and kidnapping women. Police are warning he is dangerous and he's using dating apps to find his next victims and to find allies to assist in his crimes. His latest victim is still in critical condition tonight. News Nation's Ryan Bass is delving into this case for us, and he joins now live this evening. Ryan.
What's this guy's name again?
Yeah, Natasha, Oregon police are calling Ben Foster an extremely dangerous criminal here as they continue to hunt for him. Now, he is not only using dating apps to try and target the next women that he wants to find, but also to try and escape police as well. The 36-year-old is wanted on some pretty egregious accusations here: attempted murder, kidnapping, and assault. Now, I want to put his picture up on the screen so you can get an accurate idea of who this man actually is. He is on the run after Grants Pass police officers tried to arrest him on Tuesday for torturing a woman, trying to kill her and holding her captive. Now, they found that woman in a Southwest Oregon home. She was tied up, badly beaten, and unconscious. She is in critical condition, still in the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
Police are warning that he's now not only using dating apps to look for those new targets, but also for those who will help him as he is on the run. Police also arrested a 68-year-old woman, Tina Marie Jones, for hindering prosecution, I should say, excuse me. They found evidence that Jones was hiding Foster at her home. We asked a former FBI special agent about the use of those dating apps here.
My guess is perhaps that's something that he's looking at doing through these dating apps, is then taking a woman, kidnapping them, holding them hostage until they help him basically get to wherever the next location is that he needs to be, whether it's he's taking their phones, cars, whatever. That's how he would be using that.
Now, here's the twisted part about all of this, Natasha. This isn't the first time that Foster has been wanted by police for torture and assault. In 2019, he was actually previously charged with 5 felonies in Nevada for holding hostage his then girlfriend inside of her Las Vegas apartment for 2 weeks, breaking 7 of her ribs, giving her 2 black eyes, injuries from being tied up at the wrist and ankles with duct tape. She was actually forced to eat, lie, and beat and choked until she was unconscious. That is according to a Las Vegas police report. Now, his girlfriend actually ended up escaping because she went out to the grocery store and the gas station. Natasha, again, that was 4 years ago. And now, here again, police looking for him once again.
I mean, right, these details, absolutely horrific. And I know you've been looking into this case closely. Those events you described, that was just in 2019. So how on earth is Foster out on the street again?
Whoa.
Yeah, you're talking about 4 years ago, Natasha, and now he's out here loose and, obviously going through some of the same issues here. He was supposed to face decades in prison upon conviction, but in 2020, he actually reached a deal, only pleading guilty to 1 felony and 1 misdemeanor. That left him with less than 200 days in prison if you count the time that he served leading up to that trial. Now, Natasha, investigators say that Foster is actually trained here in mixed martial arts, making him even more dangerous. There is actually a $2,500 reward that police have put out right now for any information that does in fact lead to.
Thank you for.
Wow. Speaking of that butterfly pick, Kitty, since you missed it, there it is. Man, isn't that crazy? That's crazy. Yeah, these are the butterflies, Kitty. It's crazy. You're welcome. What a great picture, huh? That's so cool. So what they just hang upside down, Pam, for their wings to dry? And then once they dry, they just take off. Wow. That's crazy. All right, let me see here. FBI looking at possible connection between rise in fentanyl deaths and Snapchat. We might get back to that one. There's a new one that's out. I don't know if I would get in trouble from playing that from that channel. Let me see here. That's an interrogation we can get into some other time when we have time. We watch that one. Okay, we already know about that. Updates in the Michael Joseph Vaughn case. Where is he? Okay, this is something I think we checked out one of their videos a really long time ago. And this is something I think wow, how long does it take for them to for their wings to dry. As soon as it stops raining. Okay, so we're going to check out this Michael Vaughn update. DNA test, huh? Navi Nation. It's supposed to look like News Nation. That's cool.
Hi, folks. What's going on?
Whoa, more dogs running?
On the 1st of December was the worst. I didn't make an update video on Michael since, bar one small one, but I didn't see that coming at all.
We got somebody else walking dogs
Michael
now?
wasn't found, and they also told us that they believe he is dead. They believe he was killed. They say they have evidence that he was buried in the Wanderers' backyard and that he was moved at a later date. A complete nightmare for his poor family. And it was the worst. It was the worst case scenario. They have no answers. Michael is not found, and now the police are saying that they strongly believe he is dead. And Fruitland PD would not go down that road unless they were confident. So they must have some pretty good evidence. I don't think they're going off one nut job's word or anything like that. They have something. They have some evidence to back it up. They've also completely changed their language. You can see them talking about, they were looking for a missing 6-year-old boy, and now they're looking for the remains of a 5-year-old. That press conference at the start of December was shocking. We also learned that day about Brandon and Adrian, who were staying with and friends of Sarah and Stacey on the day Michael went missing. JD Huff told us that they believed that those two men had information regarding the death of Michael, and they wanted to talk to them ASAP.
I was like, at first I was like, am I watching the show Walks? Oh wait, what? They're still looking for those two other guys? Nuh-uh.
Other details about the two men. It wasn't a manhunt. They didn't have arrest warrants or anything like that. However, I think they probably wanted to put a bit of pressure on, maybe. They believed that they had key pieces of information and they wanted that information straight away. And it was only about a week later, I think at the 8th of December, Fruitland PD gave another update stating that they made contact with both men. What did they tell them? I don't know. Brandon has already given an account of what happened that day, and it sounds like pure bullshit, to be honest. The details, some stuff he said, it's sounds would matter. What does matter is what he told police, and that could be completely different anything that he says on the internet. But he didn't do himself any favors at all. To me, it sounds like he's covering up for someone or something. But you have to take note that there's no charges on those two men at this time, or anyone else. Stacey is in on unrelated charges, and Sarah is the only one who has charges connected to Michael. The police, it seems, are being very cautious about when they charge and what they charge. And I don't think they will charge anyone in this case unless they can make it stick. And the same day, they said that they remain confident that all the evidence shows that Michael's remains have been moved. Sarah is the only one who has a charge at the moment. She's not charged with murder. She's charged with failing to notify of a death. She's going through competency hearings at the moment, so all her court appearances are delayed. She is a lunatic, but in my opinion, not insane. That won't fly. There is no way to not understand what she was doing, and there's no chance that she did not know what she was doing was wrong. The next hearing for Sarah is on, I think, the 6th or 7th of February. So it's not long now until we find out a bit more. But there's lots of questions. Like, the police strongly believe Michael is dead. Where is his body? Is there anything that people can do to help? Do they know when he was transported? Why no murder charges yet? What does Stacey tell?
I'm just going to share the link to this video too. It's taken forever. I thought it was something else. I apologize. I thought it was something else. If you'd like to finish that one on your own, you're more than welcome. I thought it was something else. How it happened. We talked. Ooh, okay, now I know this won't be 12 minutes of Long Crime Network. We did talk about this. This was probably a week ago. This is how it happened. We all were wondering how it happened. Florida woman shoots husband at hospital and murder-suicide pact. How it happened and what's next. We all are wondering, like, what happened? How did it happen? What's going on in chat here? Hold on. JSD destroyed the magic. I wonder which channel came first, right? Never eaten that one. It was You guys are crazy. Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. Look back. What?
Drop the gun! Drop the gun right now! Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
A woman allegedly shoots her terminally ill husband to death in the hospital. We break down what we know so far in the case with former SWAT member Chad Ayers. A scary situation unfolded at a Florida hospital where police were in an armed standoff with a 76-year-old woman. Daytona Beach Police Department responded to a shooting at Advent Health Daytona Beach. Ellen Gilland allegedly shot and killed her 77-year-old terminally ill husband, Jerry Gilland. You see, authorities have indicated that this was a planned murder-suicide pact between the couple in the event that the woman's husband's condition deteriorated. And after a wild encounter with police, Ellen Gilland was arrested and officially charged for first-degree murder and aggravated assault. Now, euthanasia or mercy killings like this, they're illegal. They're illegal in most states, and they're illegal in Florida. There's some physician-assisted suicide that's allowed in some states, and we'll get into Canada in a minute. So just because Jerry Gilland consented to this, it doesn't really
it is
matter.
allowed in some states.
I do want to talk a little bit more about how this situation unfolded and what we know right now of the story. So I want to bring in Chad Ayers, former sheriff's deputy for Greenville County in South Carolina and former member of the SWAT team where he served as an assistant team leader. Chad, good to see you again. Thanks so much for coming here on Sidebar.
It's great to be back, Jesse.
I want to go through some of the footage with you first. So let's play it and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun right now! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! You got any eyes that was start? What's that? You got any eyes? I can't see. She's sitting right behind the bed. Yeah, she's on the other side of the bed. It's a black revolt. I said a visitor. Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Just drop it. Just put it on the ground and slide it away from you. Drop the gun! Hey, here. You want to practice over with this? You want to over this from the outside? Drop the gun! Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. We got time. Back up, back up. We got time, we got time. We got nothing but time, guys. Can we practice some patience in the adjoining rooms? Can we do that or no? Drop the gun, man! I got a good angle right here. Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Man, hold on. Go down. Man, tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. I don't want to hurt you. We don't want to hurt you. Tell me what's going on.
Okay, so
yeah,
what
instead of keep yelling, drop the gun, so you're scaring everybody else
Honestly,
in the fucking hospital. Say something different.
Hear, they had a shield up for some protection, some coverage for them, and also the loud verbal commands they're giving, and they're trying to relate. Hey, talk to me. Let us help you put the gun down.
Right. Instead of keep saying,
really
drop
doing
the gun,
their best to
drop
de-escalate that situation and not force
drop the gun.
this lady's hand to do any more damage than she's already done.
I thought it was really interesting that the officer who was the body cam footage of, he told another officer, don't dialogue with her. And then he jumped in and said, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. Is that because you want one voice?
Exactly. And that's a perfect example. A lot of times in these heightened situations,
you should be saying,
everyone's amped up and everyone's trying to say things.
I can keep you on the same
it's
shit.
almost like a felony car stop that we do, and everyone's get on the ground, lay down, hands up, hands behind your back. And the suspect is trying to figure out, well, who am I listening to? Do you want me to lay down? Do you want me on my knees? Do you want my hands up, down? Where do you want them? So if that officer can establish some type of rapport and have one person initially begin talking to that person, it helps everything kind of calm down a little bit and bring that situation hopefully to an end a little bit sooner.
What I think complicated it too was the fact that this was in a hospital, a very, very sensitive environment. And even you kind of heard some of the officers saying,
I don't know,
able to clear the patients from the rooms. Walk me through that environment, the difficulty of the situation there.
Well, from the article and reports,
this is in Florida. I don't know what
just
city.
a floor for people who had some broken bones or minor surgeries. You're on a floor
in
Florida,
Florida,
where people are basically on their last leg or their deathbed almost, on ventilators, things like that have to be operated and plugged in for them to keep preservation of life. So that's got to be very, very difficult of trying to evacuate that area.
I'm not sure
I think
where
they did the best they could in that situation, because we want to, they have this lady contained to a room. They've started verbal commands, but you never know what could happen.
Space age
this lady all of a sudden bolts out of this, room. Hopefully the situation can be controlled very quickly. But we have to plan for the worst. And so evacuating everyone off that, is very important, but I cannot imagine how difficult that would have had to be.
At the time of this recording, we still don't know how she was able to get a gun into a hospital. Do you understand that? I mean, is there difficult?
What happened?
I'm trying to remember if there's some sort of security checkpoint. Does there need to be a security checkpoint? How does one get a firearm into a hospital?
Yeah, in Greenville, South Carolina, our hospital has, in the emergency room, has metal detectors. In reading that, I think it said that they did have some metal detectors out armed or manned by people. But there are areas of our hospitals and most hospitals where you can just walk in to go see someone without going through that. Look, Jesse, we've seen an increase in active shooter events last year. Active shooter events in these types of situations were up 53%. And no, this was an isolated incident. I think we have to start looking at physical security and how we are going to protect those people inside. So yes, I'm a big proponent of having armed guards and metal detectors, because just having them there and no one being there it does no good. And we are seeing an increase
in a body cam that's behind your fucking arm.
Shootings in medical and hospital facilities. We had one in Oklahoma last year where a guy was upset with a doctor, went in there and killed several people. So I think it's time we start evaluating our physical security.
Yeah, I agree with you, because I think the hospital also had a little bit of an issue in terms of being prepared for something like this. It was a panic situation, and kind of what the reporting on it was, they were confused as to what to do, right?
Yeah, a lot of organizations take a reactive approach. In light of many events over the last, few days, my company that, we teach active shooter response gets an influx of calls. We need this training now. We need to get this training now. But it's almost like your seatbelt. You put your seatbelt on, not hoping to get in a car wreck. You put your seatbelt on to be prepared in case. And so I think it's important that we start evaluating, are we providing valuable, effective training, or are we just checking a box on this type of situation?
I want to talk a little bit more about the motive behind this. So police investigated it, and they found that this was a murder-suicide pact. Now, we know that it is illegal for her to do what she did. Even if Jerry Gillen said, I want you to shoot me and then I want you to kill yourself, that's not legal. Now, Canada's interesting, but Canada has actually legalized euthanasia in 2016. I think now they're deciding whether or not to extend it to people who are not just terminally ill, but the mentally ill. In your experience, have you dealt with these kinds of situations? They're really quite tragic, and I'm curious your thoughts on it.
In my career, the first ever suicide that I ever had to go to was a terminally ill cancer patient. and his wife had gone to the grocery store, came back, and he committed suicide with a handgun in his bed, and had written a long note out, but just said, I can't handle the pain of this treatment anymore. And then there was another situation, same thing, murder-suicide, terminally ill, cancer patient, took his wife's life and then took his life again. What's interesting in the article is that initially the decedent in this case down in Florida had planned to take his own life first, or take his wife's life and then take his own life, but he was too weak to do that, so he had his wife do it.
What?
A very sad situation. You know, all of us here across the country have family members or friends who have battled a terminal illness like cancer, and the pain that they go through was horrendous. But it's a very sad situation.
He was gonna do that to her and then himself, but he was too weak
to go to that extent.
Whoa!
It breaks my heart. It's a sad story, Jesse.
Real quick, do you think that she should be charged here? Do you think she should be charged with murder? I mean, maybe the aggravated assault, but from a policy standpoint, do you think she should be charged with murder? I think if you look at the textbook definition of it, she fits within that category, at least allegedly does. But from a policy point of view, in your experience, do you think that she should be charged?
Well, what's interesting, I think, is if we look at the premeditated part, right? The premeditated part, from what I am reading, is that he planned to take her life and then his. So, was the pre-plan? It wasn't the pre-planning of her to take his life then hers. And so I think it's going to be a stretch to get a murder conviction. I think that to put 12 people in a box and to convict her, that's going to be a difficulty. I see this thing being pled down to some other type of charge.
You might be right. The only thing I'll say is under the law, premeditation can form like that, right? It can form in an instance. It doesn't have to be something that happens over the weeks or months or days. It could happen really in that instance if you are deliberate and you deliberate on that choice. Who knows what that conversation was between her and her husband? If there was a conversation, making that choice could be enough for the murder charge. I want to bring one last thing before I let you go. I understand that one of the ways that officers were able to resolve the situation is they used a flashbang. I believe the SWAT team uses it. It distracted her. It makes a loud noise, and then they're able to ultimately subdue the suspect. Walk me through what that's like.
Yep. So flashbang is noise flash distraction device, and NFDD is what we would call it. It's basically a loud firework, basically for civilian terms, I guess. And it emits a very bright light, and so it looks almost like what people would think. Oh, that looks like a grenade. There's no type of fragmentation in that. It's just a loud bang and a loud burst of light. That's used to gain the element of surprise. And so when I roll that in there, you got a second or two for that thing to deploy. And when it does, the concussion of that, the flash of light and the loud bang really disorients the person in the room.
That's so
and it
sad
gives
to
law
hear.
enforcement the opportunity to gain that element of surprise in hopes that maybe either it startled her enough to drop the gun, which I think when they deployed it, it startled her to where she discharged the firearm. But it gives us the element of surprise to get in there and hopefully resolve this situation and gain control of her quickly.
You're right. Reports indicate that she actually fired a shot into the ceiling, and then I think she was ultimately taken into custody.
That is
Chad
so
Ayers,
rude.
thanks so much for coming on, talking about this really sad story, and I'll say complicated.
Who knows who in the hell was in that room above her? That is so it's one thing if you want to do something to yourself, right? But to fucking put other people in danger when you're trying to be selfish. Yeah. Yeah. Right? Let's scare more people at the hospital. Like that one guy. Put down the gun. Put down the gun. It's like, say something different, man. You're getting nowhere and you're scaring everybody else. Say some different shit. What can we do? What is wrong? What is the problem? What can we do to help you feel comfortable to give us the gun? Not, Put the gun down. Put the gun down. You know what I mean, Pam? Fucking cop yelling that shit. Come on, dude. Quit trying to be some Mr. Badass and talk to the lady. That's how you get somewhere. Communication. Then you got two people saying two different things. Cincinnati 13 KC 20 said my husband said. Exactly, not in the hospital. You shooting up in the air. Come on, what if it was a baby and her mom? Yeah, it's just, yeah. Oy. Come on, YouTube. So true, Mama Bear. So true. So that's what happened. I know we were all wondering. This is a quick 44-second video, but her remains identified.
In just the past hour, the medical examiner has positive.
Come on, YouTube. What happened here?
Identified the remains of 4-year-old Athena Brownfield. The little girl's body found buried on land in Rush Springs back on January 17th, a week after she was reported missing. State agents won't say anything else about the case because of a gag order. Athena's caregivers are both charged in connection to the case.
Caregivers.
Alicia Adams is charged with 2 counts of child neglect.
Caregivers.
Ivan Adams is charged with child neglect and first-degree murder. Alicia told investigators Ivan punched the little girl several times in the chest and then buried her body on Christmas Day.
Oh my gosh. What the hell? Poor little thing.
In just the past hour, the medical examiner
Defenseless.
has positively
Come on,
identified
YouTube.
the remains of 4-year-old Athena Brownfield.
Damn. And then you throw me at the top again. Every day. I know, Ava. It's like crazy. Like, man, what the hell? I mean, we watched a video and read what took place, and that is just. It's sad. Sorry, it does this. Throws me at the top. Okay. So we checked out one Crime Talk weekly recap. I think that's just a weekly recap. Okay, that's for later. Delphi murders the FBI. Alex Murdaugh was shot right here. We might get to that video here. Oh yeah, this is Andrea Burkhart. She's an attorney, and I believe we watched one of her videos on the last show, not last night, but maybe the night before. And this talks about Ann Taylor. Has anyone looked up Morgan job? No. If you have anything you can send me, go ahead, Ava.
With nothing to take place in the Brian Kohberger prosecution until June, and with a gag order in place preventing details of the investigation that's ongoing from being made public, I guess it's not really that surprising that are resorting to trying to gin up a story where none, in fact, fact exists. So yeah, guys, we're going to be talking about conflicts of interest. So if you've been following,
oh my God,
you know that the latest story to be featured involves the prior representations of Ann Taylor. Information has emerged that Ann Taylor has previously represented Kara Kernodle, the mother of Xana Kernodle, one of the victims in the case. She was representing, at least on record, Kara Kernodle on a pending charge at the time that she was appointed to Bryan Kohberger. Since then, news has also emerged that she had previously represented the father and stepmother of Madison Mogen, one of the other victims in the case. So, based on this, there have been a lot of questions about conflicts of interest and how is it possible that Ann Taylor would be able to take on Bryan Kohberger's representation given these previous legal relationships that she had formed. And there's been a lot of opinions, of them conflicting, presented as part of this coverage. Now, opinions differ frequently, especially among lawyers. But the thing about a legal opinion that's a little bit different than an opinion about, say, whether it's a nice day outside, is that there are resources that you need to rely on in order to form your opinion. The law. And what has been distinctly lacking in nearly all of the commentary that I have seen on this issue, with a few notable exceptions, is any reference whatsoever to the legal standards that actually apply to this situation. So we're going to be looking at those. One of the primary concerns that I've seen expressed about this situation, which is completely understandable, is a concern that given these relations, if Bryan Kohberger is convicted, is he going to have some basis to get his conviction overturned by arguing, you know, she never should have taken on the case in the first place? She had these conflicts of interest. Well, guys, luckily, I am a practicing appellate criminal defense lawyer. This is exactly what I do. I look for these types of arguments to raise on behalf of criminal defendants. So I've looked at this situation pretty much the same way I would look at it if I were representing Bryan Kohberger based on the information that is available at this point in time. And so I'm going to walk you through how I evaluate this issue and reach the conclusion that no, there is nothing wrong with Ann Taylor having accepted the representation of Bryan Kohberger at the outset. No, there is no reason at this point in time that Ann Taylor would need to withdraw. And no, that quite frankly, even if there were with the optics or something like that, that the standards that apply to a criminal defendant trying to raise this kind of issue are so extremely challenging that there is pretty much no possibility of any type of viable argument being raised that could potentially overturn a conviction on appeal. Whoa. So let's talk about where we're going to go. So first off, a warning. As you're about to see, as we talk about the legal implications of this situation, this is not going to be something I'm going to be able to walk through and tie up with a nice tidy little bow in one short little video. No, there is a lot of ground to cover here. And so that's going to take a little time. What I'm anticipating doing is following this basic introduction to what we're going to be looking at in terms of the legal sources here. We're then going to turn to examining those legal sources in the following videos. The first source of law that's implicated here are the rules of professional conduct for the state of Idaho. Every state has rules like this that govern what the responsibilities of attorneys are and how they're required to conduct themselves in the course of their practice. There are several rules that are going to be implicated by this situation, so we're going to look at those. First off, attorneys have duties to prospective clients, people that they don't yet represent, but have to evaluate whether they can take on the representation or not. Now, of course, to understand if you have a conflict of interest or not, that's going to require you to get out. We're going to look at the rule that tells us what a conflict of interest is. That's Rule 1.7. There's also quite a bit of case law in the state of Idaho that looks at how this rule is applied in a variety of different situations. I'm going to tell you guys, most of these cases are public defender cases because this type of thing really comes up all the time when you're talking about public defenders and when you're talking about small communities. The last thing that is potentially implicated here, because Ann Taylor has withdrawn from representing Cara Kernodle, and because there's no allegation that she currently represents the parents of Madison Mogen, that was a previous representation, lawyers also have duties to former clients. So there's a rule that tells us what those are as well, and we're going to be looking at that rule. Now, the RPCs are what attorneys are going to review and evaluate when they're considering a situation that's presented itself to them and they need to figure out what is the course of action that they need to take. They're also the standards that are going to be applied by the State Bar Association if the bar is considering any kind of disciplinary action against an attorney based on an allegation that the attorney has not lived up to their professional responsibilities. But in and of themselves, the RPCs don't give criminal defendants the right to raise issues on appeal. That arises from the Sixth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which guarantees the accused in a criminal case the right to assistance of counsel. So in the final video on this topic, we're going to be looking at the Sixth Amendment standard and what that would require Bryan Kohberger to show if he was going to try to raise this issue as justifying throwing out his conviction or getting a new trial. It's important that we cover this issue thoroughly because I think you're going to see as we walk through this analysis why it is so frankly obvious to so many of us who practice in the field and have dealt with this issue that there is nothing to be worried about here. And that's why the villainization of Ann Taylor that has featured in so much of the coverage of this particular topic, it needs to stop. So I hope you'll join me as we walk through this scenario and we look specifically at the law and help us form our opinions based on the information that the courts will be looking at to make their decisions. I'll see.
That's interesting. So it doesn't sound like it sounds like she might not get taken off after all. Oh, I bet it's so cool, especially when they hatch or whatever you call it. It's got to be so cool. Oreo launches new cookie. I do want to check this out real quick. I love Oreo. I haven't seen...
Let's go ahead and keep the good news.
Not her personally. Everybody talks about how great of a lawyer she is. It's just, what do you call it? I don't know. Maybe it's totally normal. That's what one of the lawyers up there in the area, when they interviewed him about it, he seemed like he felt it was totally normal. It just seems odd, like there is a conflict. Yum, Oreos.
Let's go ahead and keep the good news train rolling because Listen to this one. Oreo is launching a new limited edition flavor, and it is called the Most Oreo. So if you love Milk's favorite cookie, then you are going to love this because the cookie is stuffed with more Oreos. The company is also launching the Oreoverse because that is apparently something people wanted. It is an online metaverse experience. You can play cookie-themed games and try for a chance to win $50,000. So that's a sweet prize there. The new cookies are available for pre-sale now and will be available at retailers nationwide on Monday.
Oh my gosh. Oh no, YouTube's going to do it to me again, and it's going to throw me all the way back up to the top. What's up, Allison? How you doing?
Let's go ahead and keep the good news train rolling.
It's going to throw me at the top, isn't it?
Listen to this one. Oreo is launching a new limited edition flavor, and it is called the Most...
Oh, those quick videos kill me. Yes, cookies and cream, like almost like a triple stuffed Ava. You know how they got the double stuff? The golden Oreos and the regular Oreos, the double stuff. I think these are like triple stuff. And it's cookies and cream. But only for a limited time. Most Oreo. And it goes good with a big tall glass of milk, even though you're lactose. It's worth it. It's so worth it. Yum. Okay, that's a weekly recap. I forgot about that. Let's scroll up here. Oh, yum. Okay, there's another shooting in California. Now, this is some kind of Scorpion unit deactivated. I hope they don't show that, but let me see what else we got here. Fifth, Tony Klein. Ooh, is 2023 the year of the 4-day work week? And then we'll get to some of these other videos here. I hope. I wouldn't mind working 4 days a week. It'd allow me to travel.
Maryland are proposing a bill where they would study the effects of a 4-day work week. It would be work 32 hours, but they would receive the same pay. And if companies choose to participate in the study, they could be eligible for a tax credit if the bill passes. They are not required to take part in this study. The bill was inspired by the results of a study from a nonprofit called 4-Day Week Global. And the study says that both companies and employees overwhelmingly supported a 4-day model. Americans are strongly supporting this plan. 92% of U.S. workers are in favor of this shortened work week. Maryland Delegate Vaughn Stewart sponsoring the bill. He joins us live tonight. Thank you so much for being here.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
I understand why workers would be in favor of this. Why are employers also behind a 4-day work week? What is the benefit?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. So that study that you mentioned, which was done by the 4-Day Week Global Foundation, showed one obvious thing, or one thing that should be obvious to all of us, which is that employees really love this, right? So 97% of employees who participated in that study wanted it to continue. But what was truly stunning about the trial is that corporate executives and companies loved it just as much. They saw increased profits, they saw increased productivity, and the vast majority of them also said that they wanted the trial to continue. And you hear from corporate CEOs who have permanently implemented a switch to a 4-day work week. And besides higher productivity from their employees, and besides higher profits, they also report better retention and better recruitment. So I really think that this idea, while it may sound radical or utopian, is something that offers a real win-win possibility for both employers and employees.
Yeah, and people are now familiar with these sort of new phrases, quiet quitting and burnout, the great resignation. My question, what prevents those meetings and tasks that would have been done on day 5 from just being loaded into 4 days, even longer stretches of Zoom calls, et cetera, that would cause burnout and dissatisfaction?
Yeah, and I mean, it's a great question. So what we have to do, I mean, it's one possibility, right? One thing that we have seen from companies that have implemented this, and one thing that we've seen from these limited studies that have occurred in North America and Ireland and a few other countries, is that it was a uniformly positive experience for employees. But it's true, for some workers, there is a risk that what the doubt they harbor, the dread that they harbor on that Sunday night that they're about to go to work, that a lot of that would just remain, and maybe they would feel even more stressed. And so that's why we think there should be some more study to this. I think the results that have happened so far are extremely encouraging, but we think that a 5-year pilot program would be a reasonable period of time where we could provide these tax credits to companies. They would collect data, they would share that data with the state of Maryland. And then at the end of 5 years, we'd have this huge treasure trove of data to look through and see how successful or how unsuccessful the program really was. And that includes whether these benefits for employees really delivered, or maybe that, you know, they were overhyped.
What is the timeline for this? I mean, you mentioned 5 years, happy to work. And then at what point can every single person in your state expect to be working a 4-day work week?
Yeah, it's a great question. So this bill, if it passed, it would pass in probably March or April of this year. The hearing is scheduled for February. The bill would go into effect on July 1. Companies could start signing up for this tax credit. We want them to work with the Department of Labor for some technical assistance to make sure that the transition is successful. Each company would be eligible to continue getting the tax credits and participate in the program for up to 2 years, but the pilot program itself would go 5 years until 2028. My hope is that the data that we get out of it, the study, the results that come out of this, would be an overwhelming endorsement of this idea. And if that were to be the case, I would hope that Maryland would take eventual additional legislative action in perhaps the, 2019 legislation. I don't think that Marylanders should be lining up and thinking that this is going to happen overnight. But I do think the time has come for this conversation. And I think the time has come to start looking at the future, envisioning a future with more free time.
All right, Maryland delegate.
Let's hope, because we need more free time for parents to be able to spend with their children and not have to sacrifice time with their children in order to be able to have a roof over the child's head. It's pretty disgusting when you have to choose between a roof and time with your child. So let's hope that it does go that way. That would be nice. Because I think that's what's wrong with the world a lot of the time these days, is that the parents aren't able to spend quality time with their children because they have to worry about that roof. I need a red shirt like that.
All right, we are taking a closer look at the evidence that could potentially be used against accused Idaho killer Bryan Kohberger. Now, in that affidavit, everything from cell phone paint, DNA, roommate. And what battle will the prosecution be facing as they make their case? Is now on this former CIA and FBI special agent, Tracy Walder. Tracy, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Natasha.
So we're actually looking through this. It was actually a News Nation viewer that brought up what he saw as 5 potential holes in the affidavit as he saw it. That viewer pointing out that Kohberger's DNA could have ended up there from someone shaking Bryan's hand and touching the sheath shortly after. What do you think plausible theory, or how strong is the DNA evidence?
So that's a great question. And I've said that really from kind of the beginning of all of this, is that, to be honest with you, the DNA is nice to have. It puts him at the scene of the crime, but it doesn't put him at the scene of the crime potentially on that date and around that time. So yes, I think that this is a hole that can argue it. So I think that viewer is spot on.
And another idea that was brought up here was that the cell phone towers were not pinging the exact location of the cell phone, that claiming that the radius of the area is large enough that his phone could have pinged somewhere nearby, but not necessarily in viewing distance of the home where the murders happened. Can you tell us more about how much stock we can actually put in cell phone towers pinging cell phones, and what information authorities can get from those pings?
So that's also another point that I agree on. And I've said before that the cast data that was used, I'm just assuming that was mostly what was used to get this information, is new. And it has been challenged in court in the past. And part of the reason that it has been challenged in courts in the past is because sometimes the data is a bit off. It's not off, in 20, 30 miles, but it can be off in excess of up to 3 miles. And so, it's highly plausible for him to be in a 3-mile vicinity of Moscow when he lives so close by near Washington State University.
And one of the other issues was the witness, the surviving roommate, who described seeing someone with bushy eyebrows, someone who is tall, 5'10" actually is what they said. Is that a specific enough description to match Kohberger? How strong is that piece of evidence?
So again, we have to remember evidence, they don't exist in a vacuum, right? The prosecution is going to take all of it. It's the totality of the circumstances. So look, as a singular piece of evidence, no, it's absolutely not a strong piece of evidence. However, the DNA, which puts him, in the home, coupled with the cell phone data that puts him around the home, and then you have the description, sort of a light description of him, placing him in the home at that particular moment. So it's the totality of the evidence.
I really appreciate that point, and it's very important. The last thing I wanted to ask you about was the car. That video does not show a license plate, importantly, and Brian's car apparently was not even in the year range that police were initially looking for. How confidently can authorities and investigators say that white car in that video is actually Kohberger's?
They might have a hard time with that, but I think one of the rebuttals to that is he could have easily removed the license plate. That's something you can take on and off a car very easily. In terms of the
Pennsylvania
year,
don't need one.
The reality is body styles do change from year to year, but they really change sometimes in a very nuanced kind of way. I do not think that this is a piece of evidence that's going to be portrayed as just the singular piece. But again, to the point before,
how is he supposed to have a license plate on the front of his vehicle when, if you're in a state that doesn't require one, you only get one plate?
The totality of it with a car that looks like his being around the scene of the crime at that time.
Sure. Bottom line, do you think the prosecution has a strong case with this evidence?
I do think that the prosecution has a strong case, and I think that coupled with the evidence that was recovered from his apartment, as well as whatever was recovered from his home in Pennsylvania and the search of his car, we still don't know what the results were of that. And so I think that all together is going to present a very strong case.
All right, Tracy Walder, thank you for breaking this down with us. I really...
Just like Richard Allen backing his car in because Indiana doesn't require a front license plate. I never understood why states don't require front and back, because what if you only see the front of the vehicle if some child's getting kidnapped? I just don't understand it. That's a 50-second video. We'll just skip that. That always gets me in trouble. Speaking of Michelle Walks, there's a Michelle Walks right here. Summer Wells, the 911 call. Spoiler alert, more BS. We haven't touched the Summer Wells case very much. I would like to in the future. I just don't know that much about it. If anybody does have a lot of knowledge when it comes to the Summer Wells case, I'd definitely like to have you on some night. Maybe we can just talk about Summer Wells that night. Yep, that is true, SRB. Okay, we did watch the manhunt underway. Let me see here. Witness protection. Bethany Funk. So let's see what Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates has to say about that. Here's the channel link. We'll see what's up. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If anybody would like to hop up, you're more than welcome. Just let me know.
Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates. I am covering the Moscow, Idaho case. Let's talk about Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk. Two of the surviving roommates that were inside the home were 4 college students, got brutally stabbed during the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. They survived. The other ones, unfortunately, did not, that were in that home. Now, a lot of people are wondering online, why isn't Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk in the witness protection plan or the witness protection services? Because some states actually offer that. The federal government offers that to witnesses who are going to testify against individuals, because you would think that their life, is matters, and some offer the witness protection plan in this. However, they offer victims in Idaho. I'm going to show you Moscow, the city of Moscow website about victim assistance for people that are victims of a crime. Bethany and Dylan are victims. Check this out.
So according to the city of Moscow, Idaho, their website, they do offer victim assistance. As a victim, you have the right to have your property returned by law enforcement agencies as soon as it is known needed as evidence, to be notified of the date and time of all court proceedings in this case, and to be present at those proceedings, to communicate with the prosecutor and be advised of possible plea agreement by the prosecuting attorney prior to entering in a plea agreement, to refuse an interview or other contact by the defendant or by any person acting on behalf of the defendant unless the court orders otherwise, to express your feelings to the judge about the effect the crime has on your life, either in pre-sentence report given to the judge or directly to the judge under oath at the time of sentencing, to read the pre-sentence report prior to sentencing, to be informed of the outcome of the case, including appeal, to be notified by the Commission for Pardons and Parole of relevant parole or commutation hearings and have the opportunity to address the commission either in person or in writing, to be notified whenever escapes from custody. So they do offer victim assistance in Latol County, victims of crimes, according to the city of Moscow, Idaho's webpage.
So they can't join the witness protection plan, but they do get victim assistance. Also, there's another option: name change. I'm just wondering if Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk are considering changing their name. There is a process. You can do that in the state of Idaho. You can change your name legally. Check it out.
So according to wikihow.life, this is how you would change your name in Idaho. Whether you're recently married or divorced or tired of people misspelling your name or just feel like you've gone as far as you can in life as John Smith name. In the state of Idaho, you have several options to complete this process. After legally changing your name, however, you also have to remember to update your various forms of identification, financial and insurance accounts, and so on. Know the benefits and requirements of legal name change. It may seem like too much trouble to go through all the paperwork, fees, and court appearance in order to change your name, but it is worthwhile to make the change you prefer official. Idaho, like many other states, permits you to change your name simply by constantly using that name, but that type of change wouldn't likely be accepted by the Social Security Administration, your financial institutions, or even the State Department of Motor Vehicles for your driver's license. Official certified documentations of a name change is the way to go. In order to use the standard process to petition for name change as an adult in Idaho, you must be 18 years old. You must reside in the state, not be a registered SO, not be attempting to avoid creditors or debts. Procure the necessary forms. This is a government process, so expect some paperwork, fees, and waiting time in order to make your name change official. The 4 forms you need, which are available online from your county courthouse. Petition for name change, NCA 1-1. This is, in essence, your application form in which you provide information about yourself, your reasons for desiring a name change, and the new name change you wish to have. The form must be signed and stamped by a state licensed notary public who witnessed your signature. Notaries can be found at bank branches, car dealerships, standalone offices, and various other businesses. Then you have to do a notice of hearing, NCA 1-2 form. This form provides information on your hearing date, case number, and location. Most of it will be filled in by the county clerk. Name change letter for publication, NC 1-3. This form, along with the notice of hearing, provides information to be published by your request and at your expense in a local newspaper that circulates within the county of residence. This may seem quaint, but advertising the proposed change in the newspaper is required by law. Order for name change, NCA 8-1. This is the document the judge will sign in which orders your name change to be legally changed. If approved, this form will be your key to changing your name at the SSI, DMV, and so on. Fill the paperwork at your county courthouse. Fill out each of the forms as indicated. Make one additional copy of your petition and 2 additional copies of your notice to file with the originals. The clerk will give you a hearing date. You'll be required at the time to pay a filing fee, currently $166. You may also apply for a fee of waiver at this time, however, if you have a financial hardship. Publish inside the local newspaper. Contact the newspaper in your county or in your county's lacks one, a paper nearby. The county clerk should have information on available papers. Provide the paperwork, signed, completed, copy of the letter for publication, and notice of hearing. The notice must appear in the newspaper once a week for 4 consecutive weeks prior to your hearing date. The publication fees are your responsibility. Once your notice has run 4 times, make sure the newspaper provides you with an affidavit of publication or sends it directly to the clerk. If it is given to you, file it with the clerk before your court date. Attend your court hearing. Arrive early just in case. Confirm your room number and wait for your name in case to be called. Make sure you bring the following with you: the order for name change, plus the affidavit of publication if you have not already filed it with the clerk, a photo ID with your current name, any additional documents related to your request, such as evidence regarding your current status on a SO registry if relevant. You may be questioned under oath by the judge, so answer truthfully. The judge will sign your request whether it is granted or denied. If it is granted, you can request additional copies of the order from the clerk for a small fee. Obtain at least 2 copies now because you will use them to change your social security card and driver's license. So it tells you a little bit about the process, right? And I strongly recommend go to this page. If you want to change your name, will Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk change their name to avoid the circus about to surround them, and is probably still surrounding them in reference to the Brian Kohlberger case? Idaho 4.
So that gives you the steps on changing your name. What do you think? Do you think Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk will
I think they will
change their names? Do you think they will?
It's about the possibility of them changing their names, which I would definitely. And if they do, it's going to have to be in public record. So if they do go to change their name, they could put a seal on what their new name is. There might not be a seal, but I'm pretty sure there would be a seal. But it will be public record that they are going to file the paperwork and have filed the paperwork and have a court date to legally change their name. So we will know if that happens, and I'm pretty sure they would. It'll be interesting. I don't know. I think they will. I would. That's for sure. The kitty looks so comfortable, doesn't it? Okay. That dude's everywhere. Witness protection, huh? Okay, this explains... We'll watch one more here. This explains the power of attorney. So I'm going to go ahead and throw his channel up there again. just so I don't have to scroll all the way back up to the top. And we're going to check out this other video here about the power of attorney. I don't know why more lawyers aren't covering this. I'd like to see more, like that one lawyer we watched a couple videos ago. Why aren't lawyers covering this? Oh, 1 second though. I'm sorry. Oop, come on, YouTube. Let me pause it. Okay. What the heck? This is Michelle Walks? No, we went to frickin'... What the hell, YouTube? What is it doing? It's doing stuff on its own. Okay. Let me go back to this. This is a picture from Ava. Thank you. This is a picture. It says Dylan ? If you'd like to take a screenshot, go ahead and you can zoom in on it. I'll leave it up for a minute. Thank you, Ava. And then we got another picture after this. And I'll let it be up there for a second so y'all can take a screenshot if you want. Yeah, I heard somebody had messaged me that he likes to not allow people to use his stuff. Somebody just reached out to me and mentioned it. I don't know if it's true. I just don't want to take that chance because it's a lot of work trying to edit out a certain part of the video. It really does take like 45 minutes to an hour just to do that. I've had to do that so many times. It sucks. So far, everything has been good. Everything for the sports, everything, like even Saturday night when we were doing ghost stuff, like so far in other nights where we played, so far everything's been a-okay. So it's been good. I learn, I adapt, and I overcome. It's a process. And this is another picture here. Thank you, Ava. This is the prosecuting attorney, Stanley Mortensen. If you want to take a screenshot of that too, go ahead. Thank you for those. Now, I am going to get into this Morgan, and I apologize if I mispronounce the last name, Duab. What you mentioned earlier in chat, Ava. I'm going to get a couple of these other videos here, and then I'm going to look that up towards the end of the show. I just wanted to let you know.
Jonathan Lee Rich's investigation. I cannot wrap my head around this one right here. The public defender for Brian Kohlberger, Ann Taylor, used to represent Xana, one of the victims, her mom. Xana's mom, Kara Kernodle. Wrap my head around that. Now we know. Conflict of interest alone. But this here, right here, I'm about to share with you a clip of Xana's mom talking to Ashley Banfield, News Nation. This here really makes me think there's a conflict of interest when it comes to
all three
representing Brian Kohlberger.
Wait, you're just talking about one?
Just so many thoughts. When
did this come out? A day ago.
It's so incredible that there is this connection. Are you going to try to fight this at all?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
All right, we already heard this.
Because as I understand it, this would require a waiver, something that you sign and that he would sign.
Yeah, we already went through that, and we already checked that out. Not sure that's the first picture. Looks like her to me. I remember seeing that picture. It was hard to tell, for me. It was hard to tell. Is there a co-defendant? That's a 16-minute video. Let me see here. Email. Ann Taylor kicked to the curb. What? Ron Logan interview. I did start to watch this the other night. Gabby Petito, The Untold Story. It'd be cool to have a Gabby Petito night. What's up, Cherry Cherry? It'd be cool to have a Gabby Petito night. Let's see, lawyer explains why Kohberger is the killer. What? Cell phone data, will the pings hold up? Andrea Burkhart. Now that's that lawyer that we watched a few videos ago. That's a long video. 20 minutes. And then we're getting into videos from the other day. I don't know. We need to look at, let's see. Okay, I wanted to check out. We do need to get into Summer Wells some night. All right, I want to get to this Scorpion unit deactivated thing. ABC News. What's the Scorpion unit?
The death of Tyre Nichols, again, the headlines. Overnight, the Memphis Police Department disbanded the special so-called Scorpion unit involved in the brutal beating of the 29-year-old following a traffic stop.
The city's police director announcing the decision a day after the body camera video of the beating was released. That video leading to protests in the streets of Memphis and across the country Friday and again last night.
Nichols' death once again igniting debate about police brutality in this country. We'll be speaking live with Derek Johnson, president of the NAACP, coming up. But we begin with ABC's Stephanie Ramos, who is live in Memphis again for us this morning. Stephanie, good morning.
Good morning, Janae. The family of Tyre Nichols hopes his death is a catalyst for change in this country. And just last night, the Memphis police announced they were disbanding the street crimes unit known as the Scorpion Unit. That's a move the family pleaded for.
It is in the best interest of all to permanently deactivate the Scorpion Unit. Sound like a win to me.
This morning, the Scorpion Unit, whose members were involved in the brutal beating of Tyre Nichols, has been permanently deactivated. Short for Street Crimes Operation to Restore Peace in Our Neighborhoods, the unit launched in November of 2021 to patrol high crime hotspots. Touted by the mayor for its hundreds of felony arrests for violent crime and car thefts within just months of its inception, but has since come under fire in the wake of Nichols' death. Lawyers for the family alleging Scorpion has had previous instances of misconduct.
This Scorpion unit was designed to saturate under the guise of crime fighting, and what it wound up doing instead was creating a continual pattern and practice of bad behavior.
In a statement, the Memphis Police Department says the decision was reached with the input of the current officers, adding it is imperative that we take proactive steps in the healing process for all impacted. Demonstrations as reaction to the body camera footage from the night Nichols was pulled over pour in nationwide.
Many people here saying they don't want what happened to Tyre Nichols to happen again ever here in Memphis or anywhere else across the country.
Mothers marching with their kids. The body camera footage raising further questions about the officers involved. While 5 of the officers were fired and charged soon after, others have yet to be publicly identified.
At the initial encounter with my son, there was a white officer that was tasing my son, and we don't understand how come his name was not put out there or mentioned in this whole fiasco. So yes, I think that there should be quite a few additional charges.
Tyre Nichols was stopped and pulled out of his car January 7th around 8:30 in the evening on his way home from taking pictures of the sunset.
Damn, I didn't do anything.
This officer, yet to be named, tasing Nichols as he ran.
Officers eventually tackled Nichols to the ground, police taking more than 20 minutes after the beating ends before attempting any aid on Nichols. EMTs arriving 2 minutes after that.
There's more to the story, and I think that the citizens of Memphis and Shelby County deserve to know the whole story.
The attorney for one of the fired officers, Desmond Mills Jr., saying in a statement, "We are confident that the questions of whether Desmond crossed the lines that others crossed and whether he committed the crimes charged will be answered with a resounding no. The community and family stressing change in the police system, now trying to grieve their son."
As a mother, you want to always be there when your children need you. So when I heard that my son was calling my name and I wasn't there for him, it just hurt my heart.
Despite that body camera footage, it's still unclear why Nichols was pulled over in the first place. Police initially said it was for reckless driving, but the police chief told ABC News they have not been able to verify that in any video. Whit.
One of the many questions that remains in this case. Stephanie, thank you.
Whoa, hey, I caught it. Yeah, they all should be held to the same, honestly. Whoever was involved. That's no doubt. What's up, Josie? Thanks for hopping in. All right, we're going to switch to another channel. I think we played one video before in the past. A really long time ago. Great channel as well. Watts the Obsession. I came across this on my sub list, and it was like a little tribute that this channel put together, a University of Idaho tribute. And so I want to play this. I thought it would be really cool to... whenever I come across these little tributes that people make, I always like to show these because I think they all should be shared. So there's the channel, and then I'll put a link to the tribute video in chat as well. Thank you, everybody, for hopping in and being in here. Hope you're having a relaxing Sunday evening. Comfy, too.
That is service. But I would like to start by saying my name is Stacy Chapin. I'm Ethan's mom. I'm here tonight with my husband, Jim, Ethan's dad, and his brother, Hunter, and his sister, Maisie, who are also vandals. I think you knew he was a triplet, and that they all go here as well. Okay. We want to start by extending our deepest condolences to all the families impacted by this tragedy. It's hard that we are without these 4 beautiful kids with us tonight. We're here tonight because the University of Idaho is a special place for our family personally. Our triplets enrolled here together because of the small town feel, the beautiful campus, Greek system. Those were all mandatory must-haves when picking a school. We visited a neighboring college. No offense if there's any cougs here. And it felt big and logistically challenging to our family. However, when we arrived on this campus, parked, got out, we all agreed, yes, this school is perfect for us. It feels right. The people here were kind and welcoming when we showed up for orientation, and we knew as a family that we'd made the right choice. The circumstances that bring us here tonight, they're terrible. The hardest part, we cannot change the outcome. And as a family, as a Chapin family, it's important that we share Ethan's legacy and talk about the impact that he made in his young 20 years or his short 20 years. So this is where we choose to focus our energy because we are now Ethan's voice. What I want you to know is that our family is no different than probably all of your families. We sat at the dinner table when time permitted. We played games together. We traveled. We hauled our kids to every sporting event imaginable. We had cribbage tournaments, pickleball competitions, and basketball shooting contests. We surfed and spent countless hours in our boat listening to country music, which was Ethan's most favorite thing in the whole world. We hiked. Typically, the kids did that reluctantly, I'll admit. Our 3 kids even got their wisdom teeth pulled together. But the most important thing is that in our family, we always had each other's backs, and we will continue to do so. And for all of the things that I've listed and the times that I haven't mentioned, we are eternally grateful that we spent so much time with him. And I want to remind you that that's the most important message that we have for you and your family, is to make sure that you spend as much time as possible with those people, because time is precious and it's something you can't get back.
Just so I can let everybody know, the main reason I'm up here today is that everybody can understand what we lost. I hope to be able to make you laugh, but I'm afraid we're gonna have to cry, because we lost 4 beautiful souls. And the 2 that I'm up here to talk about are the ones I knew. And when I started thinking about how I was gonna tell these people what their souls were like and the things that they shared with me, I started thinking that this is gonna be really tough. So I did what you guys do. I Googled it. I went in and I looked for the most beautiful things in the world. I looked for some kind of inspiration. I knew I should have took creative writing a lot more serious, because I was in trouble. But I came up with the 7 wonders of the world, and I seen them and I looked at them for inspiration. And I prayed to my girls and I said, "You're gonna have to help me here. I'm struggling." And they just came to me and they told me there should be another wonder. I said, "All right, help me here." And they said, "It's the wonder of the relationship of a father and his daughter." I said, "All right, that is pretty wonderful." You start wondering the minute they put that in your hand, you wonder what you're gonna do. And you wonder how you're gonna feed them and how you're gonna take care of them. And then you wonder why your wife's yelling at you because you're feeding your baby a hamburger. You know, it's like, and then you wonder, how am I gonna understand and make this the best opportunity for both of us? And you start seeing the world through the girl's eyes. And as a father, it's a little bit scary. You start seeing like the world starts having like this purple haze, and there's puppies and there's kitties and there's all these weird you have to watch, and they start crying all the time. But you start falling in love with this world that they build. You see this world and it changes, and you don't have pickup trucks and all these footballs. You start seeing the beauty of what they have and what makes them special. So when I was trying to see this world and I was trying to picture what my say that she loved designer purses and brand new shoes and all these things. So that's the world as I see it now, and I never want to see it any other way.
So I met Maddie her freshman year of college. We went to high school together, but I was a couple years older and didn't really get to meet her until she came to University of Idaho, and she got in to the Pi-Fi house, and I had multiple friends in there, and they just really took Maddie under their wing, and like when she asked, she was the type of person that when she asked you how your day was, it was genuine. She really wanted to know. Like when I would talk to her, she could tell me about all of her friends and what they were up to. She was just always aware of everything. She was also, she was really funny, all her jokes really would come out of nowhere, and you'd have to do like a double take. Just be like, was that the cute little blonde girl that said that? She would always express her love to everybody, with words and hugs. She was really good hugger. She was always someone for her friends, her family, me, and just really anybody that needed advice or a shoulder to cry on, or a person to hug. Maddie was the go-to for that. She always loved like the whole process of like in Moscow, just getting ready with all of her friends. She would be helping all of them do the makeup, and I'd just be sitting on the bed observing all these girls doing what they do. So Maddie was my best friend. She was the first person I talked to every morning and the last person I talked to before bed. But I was lucky enough to be able to explore life with Maddie for about 2 years. She was the one who knew me best, and she saw me at my highs and my lows. Just helped me through everything. She was always there for me, pushing me to be better and to spread positivity. I think that's what she wanted. And she was the person that I loved the most, and she loved me the most too. And I know she would want us to be strong and be as positive and happy as we can through this time, and just know that we have her watching over all of us. And I know she's in heaven, and I can't wait to see her again and just give her a big hug. That's all I got. I love you, Maddie.
Xana, you were once in a lifetime friend. You are one of a kind and someone that was so incredibly easy to love. You're irreplaceable, and no words can accurately describe how amazing you were
and lighthearted
the
and
substantial
understood the gift
impact
of life
you
more
made
than
on my
anyone I know.
life. You made life so
getting
fun.
mad at me for
I can't
caring
imagine a
about the
better
little things that
person to have
didn't matter.
experienced the last
She'd always
couple
tell me
years
she
of
wouldn't
my
know
life
what to do
with.
without me, and now I
Having
have to live this
fun
life
with you
without
was a different type of fun. I've never met
I
someone
know she
so
would want me to cherish
unpredictable
the
and
times I have with
free-spirited.
the people
You
I
were
love.
funny without even
She'd want me to
trying. Were the source of everyone's laughter. Imagining my life without you feels dull and unbearable.
Xana was always the fun, crazy one while I tried to keep up, yet still made sure we got home safely. She always cared about everyone and made sure everyone was having just as much fun as her. She was everything, an amazing friend, comedian, pop star, therapist, sister, girlfriend, and daughter. This girl was the light in everyone's life. She lit up every room she walked in. She didn't care about what anyone had to say about her. She definitely lived up to the term YOLO. She always told me that if she were to die tomorrow, that she would be okay with it because she has lived every day to the fullest as she could and has left her mark on this world.
Some of my very favorite memories have been with Xana, and I am certain I will never have as much fun as I did with her. She is easily one of the best people I've ever met, and I hope heaven knows how lucky it is to have her. I hope they have unlimited chicken enchiladas and blasés on repeat for you, my Xana girl. To say I'll miss you is an understatement, so instead I'll say I'll carry you with me forever. Xana was such a light in my life and so many others. She was the person I could relate to the most, and she knew and understood me more than anyone. Losing her is the hardest thing I've ever had to go through, and it has left me heartbroken. Xana was the funniest person I knew and made me laugh every time I spent time with her. I have so many memories and stories I could share about her, but I know remembering the times I had with her brings me so much joy and happiness. Everyone thought we were twins growing up, and I remember in some of our last moments together, we were in her room laughing in the mirror because neither of us thought we looked alike, and her friends just laughed. She was my baby sister, but she was so much wiser and experienced so much more in life than I ever have. She never let an opportunity pass her by and enjoyed all the moments she had. She was always doing something fun, and in any situation, it was always more fun with Xana there. I remember I would get so mad because I always thought my friends liked her more than me, but she was the person that everyone enjoyed being around. She was so positive and lighthearted and understood the gift of life more than anyone I know. I remember her getting so mad at me for caring about the little things that didn't matter. She would always tell me she wouldn't know what to do without me, and now I have to live this life without her. I know she would want me to cherish the times I have with the people I love. She would want me to make the most out of every situation. She would want me to have fun, continue my journey in life, and constantly tell people how much I love them and they mean to me. I remember going to hang out with her about a couple months ago. I remember telling her that we should try to do a sister date every week to spend more time with each other before I graduated. I remember her loving the idea, and her friend Ella reached out to me and told me that Xana was so happy that we were going to start doing that. I love her so much, and I wish I would have spent more time with her and had the chance to continue spending time with her. I know she loved living in her house in Moscow with her friends. I would hear so many stories about her and her roommates, and it made me so happy to know she had such great friendships. She really knew everyone and was friends with everyone. She had the best friend group and had friends in so many different sororities, fraternities, and organizations. I was so happy she was dating Ethan, and Ethan was such an amazing person. Xana never had a boyfriend before, and my dad and I wondered if she was ever going to get one. Ethan was that special, though, because I know she was picky with boys. They were always so happy, and the way she would talk and smile about him was something I've never seen her do before. She truly loved him so much, and I know he had so.
What a cool tribute. I know I threw the link up there a few times, but what a great tribute. I just wanted to say thanks to Watts the Obsession for making that. That was a pretty awesome video. Yeah, Josie, you bring up a great point. If he's definitely asking for that, yeah, there's definitely a gag order, and it's a pretty... I know I have a video somewhere in here about the gag order and how extensive it is after the first initial one, and then they revised it to include a lot more others. Yeah, no, this is another shooting in California. This is from 9 hours ago. Actually, this one's probably more focused on it. I didn't want to think you would, but it's on that Facebook. Yeah. Yeah. And then it makes you wonder, like, if you get involved with it, you know. Yikes. Yikes. So I wanted to reach back over here.
The investigation into California's fourth mass shooting in a week. This one in a Los Angeles neighborhood where 3 people were killed, 4 others wounded. ABC's Ika John in LA with more on that. Ike, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. You said it yourself. This is now the 4th mass shooting with multiple victims here in California in just the past week. And this time,
is crazy.
Investigators say the shooting happened early Saturday morning in front of a short-term rental home in the Beverly Crest neighborhood, just north of Beverly Hills. Multiple law enforcement sources tell ABC News they believe a party was underway at the time of the incident. Now, officers responded to several 911 calls around 2:30 a.m. about a shooting with people down. Now, once on.
And then imagine if you're part of it and then you're linked to the case and that happening. Oh, hell no. Just don't even go there. You know what I'm saying?
Scene, they found 3 people dead in a car, with others also wounded. Police are saying this was not an active shooter situation. They believe it was targeted, a possible dispute, and they're canvassing the neighborhood for video. However, the suspect has not been caught yet. This shooting comes just a week after 72-year-old Hu Can Tran gunned down 11 people, wounding 9 others at a ballroom dance hall in Monterey Park. 3 days later, police say another gunman killed 7 people at 2 farms around Half Moon Bay. That same night in Oakland, 8 people were shot and 1 killed at a gas station. As for this most recent shooting, of the 4 wounded, 2 remain in critical condition at a local hospital, while the other 2 are in stable condition. Eva?
Ika Joshi for us there.
You're exactly right, Josie. I'm sure. Well, you know how I'm not even going to say it because it's just speculation, but I don't even want to put it out there. But you know, there's connections. I'll just say that. It wouldn't be that hard them two to have a conversation. Not through Facebook. Okay, we know that. We know that she represented 3 out of the 4 parents. That was a great tribute. I'm going to keep that one. Yeah, I'm not even going to worry about that one. We might check out the Tony Klein one. This is a new channel I came across. I think I am going to check that out. This is a new channel that came across. Since we have some Delphi lovers in here, this might be the first video that we actually play from this channel, honestly. So, Josie, thank you for those links too. I appreciate it, Josie. And by the way, I do have my Discord going now, so for some reason, I don't know, it's hard to, is it hard to add me, Josie? Is that what happened? If you can add me on Discord, here's my Discord if you want to add me. You can also send me links on Discord if you wanted to send me links that way too. It does pop up as a tab when I click on it, so it makes it very convenient. So now you can hit me up on Gmail, Twitter, and Discord. I need to update. Okay, cool. I need to update my banner for that. But we'll do that another day. Yeah, if you just let me know. And then it does give me a little notification, so that's nice too. Actually, I don't get one with Gmail. I do with Twitter and Discord. So it's cool having Discord. I just never really messed with it before. But I definitely like to figure it out a little bit. But hearing the little ding, it's beautiful. I know I got something. Thank you again, Josie, for that. All right, so we're going to go into this Tony Klein video. You Delphi lovers in here, let me know what's up when we're watching this. Whoa! A lot of shit going on.
Okay, so the last thing we're going to go over isn't specifically related to the search, but it is relatively mind-shocking. So I will go into this. So Tony Klein, the father of Keegan Klein, has been long speculated to either be Bridge Guy himself or somehow having assisted Keegan Klein if Keegan Klein was responsible in any way. Again, I am not claiming anyone is guilty or innocent. I don't know how many times I have to say that for all the goofs out there. But some people believe Tony Klein is Bridge Guy or partially responsible. Now, the Murder Sheet podcast has, of course, gotten into his history, which is apparently not clean. So he's had charges before, and apparently one of them was involving an 11-year-old. So in relation to the Delphi case, there were early rumors that Libby German was going to be going to the police about something. Now, some people believe that's related to Derek German, her father, or some other drug-dealing individuals. But is it possible it's related to Tony Klein? An interesting post from the Libby and Abby subreddit here by Friendly Uncle Possum. Frankly, this is a game changer from my point of view. What are the odds that this is all just coincidence? Obviously, the coincidence theorists would say it all is, but the only partially named POI ever released by law enforcement who stalks and sexualizes children and has a father who stalks and threatens children while sexually harassing women is not involved with this murder. These Klein fellas are right at the top of the list of POIs for me. Now, again, I still don't know what to make
Yep, we've said it.
of Garrett Kurtz, because, I mean, this is a guy that grew up on Ron Logan's land. He knew Ron Logan. He's already killed other people. He's a violent criminal. And he's not responsible for bodies found on Ron Logan's land, unless they all know each other, of course. Refer to the previous podcast episodes for those speculations. So,
who is that?
Here's another post by Kelly C. Peters. A theory
Hey, you Delphi lovers. Who is this guy? I don't remember his name. Do you?
is popping into my mind after listening is that maybe Libby, who we know was talking to Keegan, later found out his true identity and was threatening to tell someone about him because he was manipulating her or threatening her, and either he coerced her into wiping her phone or she did it herself, given his dad's history with intimidation of the 11-year-old referred to in the podcast. Maybe his dad decided to take care of the problem since they knew the girls were there that day. Keegan and his dad could be alibis for each other that day, and Keegan could have been the driver, but not necessarily. Now negotiate.
That's what I've said. I've always felt that Keegan took his dad to meet up RA. That's why Keegan waited at the gas station. And he was the one that was messaging the girls on the app while his dad and RA were going to meet the girls. Tony Klein at the bottom of the hill, RA on the bridge.
Have broken down because he's not backing off the alibi. Although the witness account leads to the catfish photo, the original stands. Okay. So that's all.
4 days. It's getting so close. So excited.
All quite mind-shocking. So we're going to go into another mind shock here because I don't believe this has ever been properly addressed. Are we about to solve the problem with the sketches?
That's what I'm saying. RA's on the left. Tony Klein is on the right. This brain stew we've had, gosh, this was back in early November. Mid-November. I need to go. I'm getting better.
Because in this Kelly C. Peters post here, she mentions the new witness account leads to the catfish photo, the original stands. And here is a link to, I believe, a Facebook post. If I haven't posted this before, this is what she told me she actually saw. This is regarding the witness of the first sketch. Before law enforcement screwed around with it. Short billed hat with a hoodie and the scarf below his nose and around her height, which was 5'6" at the time. That was her description that law enforcement released in July 2017.
Which, if RA is 5'4", you add a hat and a hood over a hat, that adds another couple inches. That would get you to 5'6", to where you'd be on an equal.
And she did not wait months to come forward. She went to law enforcement as soon as the girls were found on the 14th, but she had seen this altered sketch I made right here and has agreed that it is similar to what she saw. She also guessed him to be in the 40s or 50s. This is what I have. I can't answer questions I have no answers for. This is what she and her mom shared with me. After that, think what you will. And a few responses here. It is very helpful sketch that I haven't seen before. Definitely nefarious. There was no need for a face mask on such a mild day, unless this guy had asthma or some type of medical condition that required one. I would definitely wonder what was up with this guy if I came
It's a good
across
video.
him.
It's a good video.
Another response, I think you just proved a lot of people's theory if this is actually what one of the witnesses saw. And how could anyone give a close description of what the guy looks like? But going by his eyes and nose, there is even less to actually go on if this is the case. Wow. So if the witness actually did not see his mouth or his jaw, I mean, this actually
Add 2
would
inches.
explain so much confusion, would it not? Would it not? So if the second sketch is the model and the catfish profile, which also doesn't make a lot of sense, because why not you just use the photo from social media? Because if that was still up, unless it was all wiped and it was just recollection. But wouldn't there be an archive anyway on the other? Because apparently other people came forward about it on the social media. I don't know. But if it's both Keegan Kline and his father, Tony Kline, who both have criminal histories now,
No.
both have criminal histories involving
No.
minors,
No.
is it all coincidental?
No.
Now, the rumor about Libby going to the police, that's weird. That is weird. That was, I believe that was circulated early on. If it is indeed, if she did happen to find out information about individuals that were engaged in this online activity and she was planning to report them and she made that known.
Again, I feel Richard Allen is on the left sketch. Tony Kline is on the right sketch. Keegan Kline took Tony Kline to meet R.A. Keegan Kline chilled out at the gas station waiting for his dad. Messaging the girls. So that way the phone that was messaging the girls wasn't pinging in the same area that the girls were. That's why he sat back in the truck at the gas station messaging the girls, so then there was an alibi. That's just my opinion.
Would that make her a target? So here's another post by Marissa. The Shack. Killer was abused as a child. Shred of conscience left in a son covering up for a dad maybe ? Keegan Kline allegedly threatened a girl for wanting to bring a friend to meet. Phone resetting. Early rumors of catfishing. And when the Anthony Shot stuff came out, a rumor that a friend of the girls had also been talking to him, and even more rumors about Libby wanting to go to the police. Many thoughts about the kind of coincidence it would have to be for all this and Keegan Kline and his dad to not be directly involved. But what we've thought about that and 10 other known people, we're always wrong. Some more posts here. I always assumed going to the police meant in general, not at a certain time, and thought it may be pertinent to something she had learned during her class at Purdue. With all the different POIs, I thought maybe she learned something about one of them. Now I wonder if she was going to report the Anthony Shots account.
Give me a few minutes here, Cassie. I just got to hear this lady out.
So, I don't know. This is all very, very strange. Very, very sketchy.
It is a good
video. It
video.
still does not really explain the issues with the timeline the day of. Were they intentionally muddied because the Klines are potentially connected to other individuals?
You know, I would like to have, Kelt, since you joined the panel, JSD joined the panel, Mama Bear joined the panel. SRB join the panel. I would, if we can have a night where the whole Justice Squad, and I can put the Justice Squad on the title, and we can let's just talk about the Delphi timeline, and let's talk about the surveillance, the pings. Let's just talk about it. So, if any of the Justice Squad members, if there's a way that you can talk to your squad, and maybe whatever night you guys want it. I don't even care if it's a Monday or a Saturday, whatever night you guys want, where you guys can hop on and I can sit back with you and you can talk to me about the timeline. You can even do screen share. And then I can sit here and ask some questions and we just make a show about it. I would love to do that. Oh, shoot. Crap. Oh, no. What is going on, YouTube?
Tony Klein is bridge guy or pushed the bridge before they wanted to. I mean, that's still taken elsewhere. Was there some...
All right.
Sketchy. It still does not really explain the issues with the timeline the day of. Were they intentionally muddied because the Kleins are potentially connected to other individuals? If the girls were taken either willingly or unwillingly from that bridge location, if they were ever even there in the first
What's
place,
up, Kib Kitty?
taken elsewhere, was there some kind of fake party set up to maybe try to intimidate?
Do you know about Delphi? Yeah, you too, Kib Kitty. If you know about Delphi, yeah. I didn't think you knew about Delphi. But shoot. Because I would like to talk about anybody. I can have 10 people up here. Seriously. I can have 10 people up here. I would love to sit down, have open panel, even anybody that hasn't joined yet, you know. I want to talk the timeline, the cell phone pings, the surveillance. You know, you guys can screen share your information, your pictures, you know. I would love to just host you and have questions for you and just have some brain stew. I would just whatever night that would be. Seriously, whatever night that would be. And if it needs to be a 4 or 5 or a 6 hour show, Saturday night would probably be the best. So yeah, I mean, I'm down to even do 6 hour shows. That's cool. Heard that. Now I'm on Smurdo. I do have a video or two with that. Let me finish up this one here. And I do want to check out something that Ava sent me or put in the chat earlier. And then it's about that Morgan girl. We'll check that out. We'll check that out real quick and then we'll get back to the folder here.
Libby not to go to the police, and then something went wrong. And then since they knew the girls were at the bridge before, they wanted to... I mean, that's still a very, very high risk to bring the bodies back unless they were in some kind of an outbuilding relatively close to the location. And that, again, that's where Garrett Kurtz comes in. He's very familiar with the entire property. He would know where all the outbuildings are. If he's connected to the Kleins, I mean, that makes a little bit more sense, does it not? Does it not? And then if we're going down major rabbit holes, if there's also some kind of law enforcement corruption or FBI investigation taking place with possibly complicit FBI agents, that would render the investigation basically useless, that they would never find out the real truth if that's what those agents wanted, if they were involved. So obviously we don't know any of this. Again, I'm not claiming anything is true or untrue. how many times I have to say that. There's so many goofs out there actually reporting an assumption is a fact or some kind of nonsense. I am not reporting anything is true or untrue. I don't know how to say it in more simple terms, but I've said it so many times in this episode. Hopefully all the goofs out there,
Oh, I didn't know
if
she
their
left.
mental deficiencies are not too extreme, they could understand it at this point.
Did
If
she
they
leave?
are, I mean, really, the Mind Shock podcast is obviously not for them. They can stick to the mainstream sources on the Idiot Box. Hope you guys enjoyed
The
another
Idiot
edition
Box.
of Mind Shock True Crime. Found it interesting and informative, opening up all possible lines of inquiry and
Let's see, Murdaugh, I'm on the fence so far, not enough. Yeah, Kangaroo Cop, yep. It is going to be a crazy case, isn't it, Josie? Oh, she went to bed. You know, that was one thing I was talking to somebody about earlier. I was like, man, I really wish I could do a 6:30 to 9:30 show. Because I know towards the end, it gets so late for most people, you know, and I feel bad. On Tuesday, I'm going to try and see if I can make a 6:30. I'm not sure. It's just really hard to even try and make 7. But I'm going to try on Tuesday to see if I can make it possible to where I can try and start doing 6:30 to 9:30. It'd be definitely really cool if my employer allowed me to come in an hour earlier and leave an hour earlier, or normal time, because then I could probably do a 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock Central show, honestly, and it would be cool. When was SRB on panel? She was on panel last night. She will just jump. Oh, she dozed out. It's that space age funk. I work at 6 a.m. Eastern. That's why I'm never around. Aw. Yeah. So Tuesday, I'm gonna, like tonight, I got on at 6:30. I wanted to do 9:30 just because it's Sunday. It's a lot easier for me to do that. Maybe even next Sunday, I might do 6 to 9, because I definitely like to try and do 3 hours. So maybe on Sundays I can start doing 6 to 9. I'm really going to try Tuesday. I apologize if I am late or if I change the time from 6:30 to sometime between 7 Central Tuesday night. I'm gonna set the notification on Tuesday. I'll set it for 6:30. But I apologize if I'm gonna be a little late. I'm gonna try it and see if I can get it to work. So we'll try that then. Now, this is something that Ava had asked me to look up earlier. This is about Morgan Dayob. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name. And trust me, I have to work at 6:30 in the morning, so I need his. Ooh, yeah. Aw. Well, thank you for hanging out, Josie. Thank you for the links too. Yeah, I get it. I understand. I'm really, like, honestly, one day when I'm able to support, if it ever happens, you know, it's the luck of the lottery. But if one day I'm ever able to support myself off a show, it's my future goal for whenever it happens, however many years down the road, is to do a daytime show where you can listen to me while you're working, while you're driving, while you're doing whatever. You know, it's just one of those shows, you know, 9 to 4 or whatever. I'm open. We got a half-hour lunch. You're chilling back, listening to some commercials, whatever. Hearing other people talk on panel. I don't know. You know, one day, however many years that is, that's my ultimate goal, is to be able to do it during the day. But I'm really going to try and shoot for 6:30, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to check out one of these local news clips, maybe both of them, 3 days ago. Wow, this is recent. So thank you for this, Ava. Sorry it took so long to get to it. We had a lot going on, but I'm definitely hitting it up.
This was a real shocker in this York County neighborhood. A father, a mother, and daughter
I hope you guys like the new
found
background.
dead in the backyard of their family home. But even more shocking tonight, investigators say the victims pre-planned their deaths.
You just don't know what was going through their
You know what I'm
minds.
saying, Josie?
Shock
It's the
and
best.
sadness in this
Get
West
it over with.
Manchester Township neighborhood. The York County coroner says 62-year-old James Dobb and his 59-year-old wife Deborah and his 26-year-old daughter Morgan were all shot in the head. But the manner of death is different.
That's crazy,
The
kid.
father and the mother are homicide victims, according to the coroner. The daughter's death has been ruled suicide.
It's sad that they felt they had to take their life.
Who shot who is still not completely clear, with the coroner determining all three family members pre-planned their deaths. The coroner says that determination is based on evidence found at the scene and conversations with the family.
I just wish they could have got help. I wish somebody could have knew that they were having problems.
But what those problems were, still a matter of speculation tonight. Neighbors say this family stayed close to home. That's the story here from West Manchester Township.
All right, we're going to check out this other one. Is this from the... No, this is from a different news station. 28 seconds. Here we go. Wait. Go. Rule double homicide, suicide. We're going to watch this one too. Sent you a request on Discord. Okay, cool. Let me add that.
3 members of one family here in West Manchester Township shot to death in what appears to be a double murder-suicide. The 3 victims, members of one family here in York County. The coroner says 26-year-old daughter Morgan Dobb killed herself with a gunshot wound to the head.
Oh.
Her parents, Deborah and James Dobb, also dead from a gun wound to the head.
Oh.
But their deaths have been ruled homicides. Now, I want to make this clear. It is not exactly precise right now who shot who and in what order. But police tell us that all 3 family members pre-planned their deaths. Their bodies were found outside the family home here in West Manchester Township. So once again, the conclusion and the York County coroner, this is a double murder-suicide. In York County, Ed Weinstock, WGAI.
And I just want to say that's a great tie, sir. That's a great tie. I like that tie. You know what, Josie? Waking up on a Monday morning at 4:30 never comes easy. CJ, since I missed the beginning of the show tonight, did you see the email I sent you about the twins? Let me see. I usually try and save links that people save me until when they hop in, just because I want them to actually know how, it makes you feel good. It is bizarre, isn't it? There is one more video to check out on this topic, and let me see here. And I will check out that email, and then we'll be closing the show after that, alrighty? But I'll be back Tuesday night. True crime. What? She's using an accent? Okay. Excuse me. Now I'm going to send you the link to this video. This is supposedly the final video. Okay. Again, thank you, Ava. All these men, something's got to give. They need, right. We don't have enough resources. We need more resources. We need more family time. We need more. It's the examples that we set. It's So here's the link to the video if you'd like to have this for yourself. This is the final video. And I will pause the music.
Hello. I thought I should use this accent really. Hello everyone. Morgan Elizabeth Daub here, York, Pennsylvania, United States of America. I hope this travels the world. I really do. Oh, I hate the privacy being stolen, but I hope this rocks the world today. This video, please do send it out. Please do. Finally God showed me the reason why.
And you'll definitely have to listen to this on your own because the closed captioning is not matching up some of the words that she's saying. I just want to say that. So just, I encourage you to click the link for yourself, save it to whatever playlist or add it to your watch library or something. That way you can hear the specific words in the video. I know it's kind of hard to get it through the stream just because of the difference in audio. But I just want to say, I just noticed one word did not match up with what she said compared to what was on the closed captioning from YouTube. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Game over, devil. 7 times 70, please. Harder. Please. I, Morgan Elizabeth Daub, York, Pennsylvania, United States of America, do hereby abdicate the throne of the United Kingdom, along with all the rights, privileges, etc., appertaining thereunto. Today is November 26, 2022. For all intents and purposes, I have formally abdicated. I refuse to be queen. I will not be crowned. No one will force me to be crowned. I'm returning power to the people of the United Kingdom. It's my suggestion. Obviously, I cannot command it, but it is my suggestion that they immediately pursue establishing a republic for their great country. Oh, please, let this rock the world today. My hair is absolutely a mess. I don't care. Abdicating queen does not care. No Queen Elizabeth III of the United Kingdom. I know they'd love me. I know they would. They wouldn't know what to do with me, actually. No. Elijah has come. They did not know him. I did to him whatever they wished, as it's written of them. You rock the world with this.
Good night, everybody that's going to sleep.
Yes. I was next in line for the throne of England. United Kingdom. Not anymore.
Okay, I'll save that link for
Not anymore,
tomorrow
Donald
or
Trump.
Tuesday.
Not
Good
anymore,
night,
Barack
everybody.
Hussein Obama. Not anymore, Wendy Rogers.
I don't know, Josie.
More, y'all.
I'm going to put the link to the video in chat again.
Done. Oh, I hope they're getting the papers drawn up right now. I need attorneys getting those things set right now. Please. As soon as possible.
YouTube.
Oh, my pen will be hitting the official paper. They get drawn up faster than you can say queen. Really will be. The devil goes for too much. Thinks he can outwit the Most High God.
This is one of the 3 members of the 2 videos that we just watched a minute ago. This is the last video that was linked, under the search of the case. And I really don't understand what she's talking about. I'm going to have to go through and listen to it again. I will put the link to the channel and I'll put the link to the video in chat again.
This is what happens.
Here's the link to the video and I'll put the link to the
I did
creator
sign a little bit of a paper here.
once it's done.
What the heck? See, I could do so well with it. I do the accent so well, the lingo. Fortunately, no. Daisy Ridley, the Queen. No. I refuse to be Queen of the United Kingdom. I will not be your next Queen. If you honor me at all, you will set up a republic, a system of government similar to what the United States has. Our Constitution, study it, and get yourself something similar. Throw off the royalty, throw off the monarchy. Somebody somewhere down the line decided they were going to be royal. Nobody was actually born royal. And then somebody else went along with it. Nobody's above anybody else. We're all made in the image of God. This is funny. This was the penultimate plan against me and against God. Didn't know I was the ideal pick for Antichrist, for the devil. For all intents and purposes, I have abdicated. I refuse to be queen. No one will ever force me or trick me or manipulate me into accepting the throne, accepting the crown. No one ever. I don't know how to flip. I don't think I can flip this. I'm gonna have to figure out how to show it. Yeah. It's a little bit backwards. Oh well. I turn things upside down all the time. That's it.
It's
I'll
just
take a
really
picture of
blurry.
it in another video. There it is. My signature. What the? I hate these selfie videos. Why do they flip everything around? It's stupid. Don't ask me. Maybe it flips back around when it saves. Is that what it does? I don't know anything about technology. And yet I figure out all their algorithms and stuff too. It's the beginning of the shaking. I will not
Yeah.
be queen. Never. 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 Read my lips. Never. I will never be the Queen of England, United Kingdom. I'll never have Morgan Elizabeth Dobb for queen. In fact, I don't think they will ever have monarchy ever again. The Antichrist will seize it by intrigue and then set himself up as king. Yeah, it's done. I have formally abdicated. I formally abdicated. I don't know if I should say anything else, Lord. I'm a bondservant of Christ. I'm a daughter of the Most High God. I am royalty in Jesus. I am a royal priesthood. And they fucked with the wrong family. They really fucked with the wrong family.
What?
God will give me royal authority. I rule and reign with Jesus in heavenly places. I'm a king and a priest under my God. Yahweh, Elohim El Elyon. I am not the Christ. I am not Antichrist. I am not the Christ. I am not false prophet. But I am a prophet of the Most High God. And I'm ready to roar for him. Lord will roar from Zion. It's time for the king to roar. The one true king, King of kings, Lord of lords, King Jesus. The one true. Amen.
Whoa. I don't know what to think of that. Yeah, I don't know what to think of that. I'm definitely gonna have to watch that over again a few times. Good night, everybody. Going to bed. I'm gonna check the breaking news here real quick. Yeah, interesting case. And these are from 3 days ago. I don't know when that was that we just watched, but wow, I don't know what to think of that. Definitely gonna have to watch it a few more times. Huh. All right. Wow. Let me go to my folder real quick. We'll see what else we got, and then I'm going to be hopping off as well. I'm a little bit past when I was going to do the show, but that's okay. We got into a lot of stuff tonight, so it's understandable. I was trying to shoot for the 6:30 to 9:30. So when I get, I'll have Monday off. Tomorrow night I'll be off. Don't worry, I'm not getting on to do stream. I will miss you, but I'm not going to be getting on tomorrow night to do a stream. I probably will be on Twitch for some gaming. So if you want to hop on Twitch tomorrow night around 7:30 Central, you'll probably see me playing some games or something. I might even be playing some games here in a little bit. But tomorrow night I will not be having a show. Just be on Twitch. And Tuesday night when I come back, I'm really going to try and make 6:30. So I apologize in advance if I have to change the time at the last minute. I'm not one to do that. I like letting you guys have a time, and it's set. But I just want to give you a heads up in advance. I'm going to try for 6:30 Tuesday night for a show, but it might be 6:45, 6:50, 7. I don't know. I'm really going to try and shoot for 6:30 Central, though. Okay, so let me see what else we got here. What a great tribute video, too, by the way. Interesting Tony Klein video. I would like to have Delphi Night with the Justice Squad. I think that's pretty much it. A lot of the stuff we can get into on Tuesday. Yep. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get into the rest of the stuff on Tuesday. We already went almost a half hour past 20 minutes, but it's all right. I hope everybody has a peaceful and positive. What do I play on Twitch? Red Dead, GTA, Fortnite. I need to get back into Warzone. I'm gonna start playing that LA Noire game. When a lot of people are like, yeah, let's do it on a Saturday night or whatever, or Monday night at 7 Central. Hey, I'll do some LA Noire if everybody wants to help me solve some crimes and investigate evidence and do some interrogations and stuff. Definitely need your help, but it'll have to be on Twitch. But yeah, it'll probably be some GTA and some Red Dead. Some gaming. Yeah. It should tell you when you get a notification. It should tell you what I'm playing, I think. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that works anymore. Yeah, thank you everybody for hopping in. Appreciate you. What a great show tonight, last night, all these other nights this week. It's great. I appreciate it. Getting some updates done with some time off. Got the new background tonight. We're going to be fully updating everything with the new Evil CJ show. Everything fully in effect on Sunday. That's intros, logos, names, and everything. We'll finally have that done next weekend. And hopefully a lot more updates to come. I got some time off and I plan on... One thing I didn't get to, though, is I got an idea for this neon sign back here. I got some peach tape, and I'm thinking if I put pieces of peach tape over each neon, because it's really cool to the touch, even if it's on for a day. I tested it, but if I put some peach neon on it and then cut around it with my knife where the tape just covers the neon, I think that'll muffle the light enough to where you'll actually see the words on the screen, and it'll still keep the color to it too. So yeah, thank you for the follow, Josie. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a peaceful, positive evening. I will see you on Twitch soon. Tonight, tomorrow, whatever. Back on the show Tuesday night. I'm really going to try for 6:30 Central, but we'll see. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you.